Welcome back to the latest episode of the Real Duo Podcast, the most mediocre podcast on the internet. I'm one of your hosts, Wade.
I'm another host, Devin.
My throat hurts. What have you been watching this week, Devin?
Wade's got COVID, everybody. Wade's got COVID. Let's see. What have I been watching this week? I watched a little bit of The Boys with Dylan. This is past like 2 weeks because last week we did review for Suicide Squad or whatever. But so I watched a little bit of season 2 of The Boys, even though I've already seen it with Dylan. Still good.
Are you like halfway through it, or like?
No, we watched like the first like 2 episodes.
Oh, does he like it?
Yeah, so far I think so. So far, he still thinks it's hilarious that the Deep is just like a big joke.
Yeah, and apparently that's how he is in the comics too.
I mean, what else? He doesn't deserve anything else anyway.
Yeah, he's a dumb fucking character.
Yeah. Let's see. I watched Django last night.
Django Unchained?
Yeah, because Derek had never seen it, and me and Derek sat down and watched it.
Shit, dog.
Yeah.
I bet Derek enjoyed the fuck out of it.
Oh, Derek did. He was like, dude, like these squibs, they're all.
That's the only Western that everyone has seen and that everyone loves. Like, and that's how people think Westerns are, and then you show them like a real Western, they're like, this is boring.
It's not actiony.
There's none of action in it. Buh. And I'm like, well, fuck you. That's what you get for only watching Django Unchained.
Hey, at least people are watching a Western. Like,
sure. Watch the original Django because it's very good.
I've never seen the original Django.
It's fucking so good.
He straight up said he was like, if Wade just like did better in life, I feel like he could look like Jamie Foxx. That's what he said.
If I like cared about myself, I could look like Jamie Foxx.
Because he said
that's totally true.
He was like he's like they got the same like beard going on and stuff. That's what he said. I was like I leaned over to him. I was like, Derek, Wade can never be as cool as Jamie Foxx. That's the issue.
90% of people will never be as cool as Jamie. Jamie Foxx is one of the coolest black people on the planet.
Exactly. And I'm just like, Derek, it'll never happen.
Like, I could model my entire physique off of Jamie Foxx, and you'll be like, yeah, you're trying to way too hard to be Jamie Foxx.
You're trying too hard. He loved his favorite character though was Samuel Jackson in that movie.
Sam Jackson's really good. He's a little annoying in that movie, but I like him.
He likes how he just roasts everybody. I'm like, Derek,
what's that nigga doing up there on that nag?
Derek, I'm like, you haven't seen enough Sam Jackson movies because he roasts everyone in all of his movies.
That's just him.
I feel like he's only seen them as like Mace Windu and Nick Fury. I'm like, you haven't seen enough Sam Jackson.
Sam Jackson's been in a million fucking things.
I was like, you need to watch Pulp Fiction. That's a great Sam Jackson movie.
Very good. It's been a long time since I've seen Pulp Fiction.
I'm going to get him to watch some more Tarantino movies. That was the first Tarantino movie he's seen. So
you should watch Jackie Brown.
Yeah, I still haven't seen Jackie.
Because Jackie Brown is very different from it's not in like Tarantino's style that he usually does. It's not like over the top and there's not like crazy shit going on. It's kind of like this grounded, like real thing.
It's like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Sort of. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood got really crazy at the end.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood had like no plot though. I felt like it was just kind of like.
I mean, it kind of does it. Jackie Brown has a plot though. Like there's something going on.
It's fine with me.
And Sam Jackson's really fucking cool in it.
I'm still waiting for Tarantino to say what his 10th movie is going to be.
Yeah, I know. He needs to quit fucking around.
Make it a space movie.
He's not. There's rumors that he wants to do Kill Bill 3, and I'm like, I don't know if I want that.
Don't count that. You didn't count Kill Bill 2, so don't count Kill Bill 3.
Yeah, he doesn't count because technically he's made 10 films.
Yeah. So if you don't count Kill Bill 2, you can't count Kill Bill 3.
I don't think he'll do that.
Why does he like Kill Bill so much? That's the only one he's ever made like a sequel.
Because that's the movie. Well, again, he didn't make a sequel to it. He made a movie, and then they made him split it up into two because it was too fucking long.
Whatever.
But that's like the movie that like put him on the map for everybody.
I guess.
Shit, this is fucking.
I definitely don't think it's his best film though. So I mean,
I don't think it's his best. It's not my favorite.
It's not mine either.
And if you watch the Lady Snowblood movies. If you watch the first one, you're like, "Oh, this is just Kill Bill." Like he just ripped off this movie.
That's everybody though. Everybody rips off somebody else's movie. Like it's.
Yeah, I don't mind as long as it's a good ripoff. I honestly don't give a shit.
Like Star Wars is ripped off from I don't remember what it's called, but some samurai stuff.
The Hidden Fortress.
Yeah,
the Hidden Fortress. It's kind of only ripped off in terms of like style. It's not really like they're not really the same movie.
Still, it's not completely original, is what I'm saying.
But yeah, I mean, nothing is.
No. But and then the last thing I watched last night, freaking Isle of Dogs. Which
Now I watched 20 minutes of this last night.
20 minutes. Oh my gosh. Why'd you turn it on if you knew you were going
Because I didn't know I was going to go to sleep. I watched it.
So what do you think of the first 20 minutes?
I mean, it's got a really interesting tone. It seems like something I'd enjoy. I got to finish it. But
I really liked it, honestly.
I like Bryan Cranston being like the angry, pissed off dog at everybody.
Dude, Bryan Cranston in this movie is so freaking good. So good.
Everything.
He is, but like he's so good in this movie. And the rest of the cast is kind of like they're there. Like they do a good job.
In this fucking movie.
There are. And they all do a good job, but it's definitely just like it's a Bryan Cranston movie.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, and
make up for his lack of appearance in Godzilla.
Yeah, it's got some emotion in it. It's got a little bit of like tense action, I guess, going on in there.
Have you seen Fantastic Mr. Fox?
I have, dude. That's a fantastic movie. Also.
Which do you think this is better than that?
They're honestly, well, for one, I haven't seen Fantastic Mr. Fox in years, but I do remember it being a great movie. I want to say this is probably a little bit worse. It's on par. I want to say it's on par, but I would give it to Fantastic Mr. Fox if I had to pick between the two.
Fantastic Mr. Fox is like one of my favorite stop motion things.
It is.
I fucking love that movie.
If I had to give it to one of them, though, I'd give it to Fantastic Mr. Fox. But Isle of Dogs is right up there. Like it's right with it, I'd say. The stop motion in this is freaking nuts, man.
It looks cool. Like it doesn't even look like it's stop motion.
It doesn't. I'm just like this was
taken like 10 years to like put together. Like shit.
I was like, this is animated. Like there's no way it's a stop motion. Like,
I'm sure some of it might be.
I don't know. Like I can't tell. I can't tell what is and isn't if there is.
I'm sure because for it to be that smooth, this must have taken like 28 years.
Because like there's some shots where it's just like the dogs are sitting there and like their fur's just blowing in the wind. I'm like, how did you do that?
Yeah, I'm sure that might have been a little. They might have did a little bit.
Even if it is animated, I can't tell. Like
I don't get it.
It's seamless. It's seamless. I cannot tell at all. It's freaking awesome. You need to put up your review 3 years later because I remember.
My fake review that I did.
Yeah, your fake review.
Because it wasn't the movie was out, but there was no theater near me fucking playing it.
Because it was like it was a tiny movie.
It was like a little indie movie. They're like we gotta play Avengers 8. All right.
ScarJo's barely in it, which I thought she was going to be in it more for how big she was at the time it came out. But like,
she usually outside of her, she doesn't really do a whole lot of voice work. Like she showed up in the Jungle Book remake for like a second.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
So she doesn't really.
Still, I figured they put way more her in that than what they did because in 2018 she was like big star. Infinity War.
She was busy doing fucking Avengers.
Yeah. Well,
couldn't be in it.
But yeah, it's a great movie. It's on Disney Plus if anybody wants to watch it. So.
Yeah, there's not a lot of movies on Disney Plus.
No, because they only have Disney and Fox movies.
But Fox has a lot of movies.
Yeah, but like they're not
they're
not family friendly.
Well, then I won't watch anything on your fucking streaming service.
Like where's Planet of the Apes? You can put Planet of the Apes on there. You got Fox.
Planet of the Apes is PG.
Right. Maybe not the newer ones. They're PG-13.
No, those are PG-13. But even still, I mean,
you got Avengers. That's PG-13.
You can't put some of the Planet of the Apes movies on there because they're kind of like fucked up. Like the ending of the third Planet of the Apes movie is like real fucked up.
You can put the little disclaimer at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
But you can put the newer ones. Like
the newer ones. Yeah, you can put on there. They're not that bad.
No, you can put them on there. If you got Avengers and Loki getting his neck snapped in Infinity War, you can put Planet of the Apes on there. Like, not a big deal. Definitely. Not a big deal.
There's no neck snapping in Planet of the Apes. Not yet, anyway.
Nope. There's animal cruelty. Maybe that's what it is. They're like, no, we can't.
But it's animal cruelty against other animals. Like it's animals and animals.
Not the Rise. Not Rise. There's animal cruelty.
Oh, well, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, but it's a fuck you. Like apes rise up and they murder Draco Malfoy.
That's true. They did. Draco, he plays an asshole so well. That guy, I don't know his name.
At it because he's had experience doing it. He did it like literally from when he was like 10 to like 20. Like that's all he's ever done.
What's funny is that everybody says he's like the nicest guy. I'm like,
they usually are. People who play assholes and stuff are usually like pretty fucking nice. and then people who play like nice guys are usually dicks. That's just how it works.
I guess. I don't know. But what have you been watching? Anything good?
I've been watching a fuck ton.
That doesn't mean that it was good though.
I mean that's fair. I saw quite a few good things. I saw surprisingly good things.
What you got? Throw them at me.
I watched U.S. Marshals, which I own this on DVD. I didn't feel like getting the DVD, but I have it on DVD. It's the sequel to The Fugitive, starring Harrison Ford.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of just watched this because like it's been infamous for being like a fucking terrible movie. And everyone was like, "This is one of the worst sequels ever made." Blah 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 blah. And then I watched it and I was like, "That's fine." Like it's got that. I think it's got that like Godfather 3 syndrome where everyone just acts like Godfather 3 is the worst thing in the world when it's not.
It's because
comparing it to Godfather 1 and 2, it's like, yeah, obviously it's going to be the worst one, but it's not like this big piece of shit. It was fine. Tommy Lee Jones was being Tommy Lee Jones in it. Wesley Snipes was really fun. It is kind of just The Fugitive again. Like if you've seen The Fugitive, you kind of like, oh, there's a man on the run. Tommy Lee Jones has to go catch him. Like it's kind of the same thing. There's some cool like set pieces in it.
I mean, what else were you gonna do for a sequel?
I mean, yeah, you can't really do
right.
Like that's kind of the world. But there's some fun set pieces in it. Like at one point, Wesley Snipes like jumps off a building and like Indiana Jones is like across onto like a subway train, and it's like awesome. A real thing. Like they just jumped off a building onto this thing, and I was like, that's pretty fucking cool. And there's this cool like plane crash sequence. So yeah, it's got some fun to it. Robert Downey Jr. is really good in it.
He's good in everything. That's not true. He's not.
That's not true at all. You ever seen The Shaggy Dog?
Have you ever seen Doolittle? I haven't seen Doolittle. I haven't either. I don't know if he's good in that or not. But,
I haven't seen Doolittle.
But yeah, I mean, I've heard okay things about it. Maybe you've just gone soft with your critiques. Maybe it is really bad, but you've just gone soft. I don't know.
Maybe, but like I don't see how you can look at this movie and go, "Oh, this is utter garbage." Like I've seen utter garbage.
Maybe that's why. Maybe other people haven't seen utter garbage, and they're like, "This is garbage," and you're like, "Oh, you haven't seen some of the things.
You haven't been through this shit that I've been through, all right?"
I watched The Dark Tower. You son of a bitch.
You don't know shit. Maybe that's true. I don't know. But like, it's not like a great film. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "This is fucking great. You need to watch it." Like, if you've seen The Fugitive, you've kind of seen it. Watch The Fugitive though, because it's a fucking fantastic film.
Again, it's hard to make a sequel about like a man on the run and not make it about a man on the run. So like, he's a man chasing somebody this time. He's not on the run. He's doing the chasing. That's the sequel.
Cool. I mean, that would be honestly kind of fun if the person in the first movie was going after the man on the run, and then now he's the man on the run. Like that could be fun. Yeah, that could be interesting. But they didn't do that.
No.
Speaking of Tommy Lee Jones, I watched this little movie. It was on HBO Max, starring Tommy Lee Jones and Sam Jackson, called The Sunset Limited.
How's that a little movie?
Because it was like this little. It was like a made for HBO like TV movie.
Still, I feel like if you got them 2 stars, you'd be like, "Look, let's make this a full movie."
I mean, it's like I think it's like what 95 minutes.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, let's make it a big movie or whatever.
But it's not. I mean, even in terms of like the movie, it's not like a big movie. Like it takes place in one location. It's like a stage play movie, and it's just Sam Jackson and Tommy Lee Jones just like talking about life and like because Tommy Lee Jones plays like a guy who like he literally like tried to like jump in front of a train to commit suicide, and then like Sam Jackson like grabbed him and like took him back to his apartment, and they're just like sitting in his apartment. He's like, "What the fuck happened?" like what did you do? Like why did you try to do that? Like I was on my way to work and now I'm here. Like what's going on? And it's just them like kind of giving both of their perspectives on life, and like religion comes up and everything. It's really fascinating. I like listening to people like debate philosophy and perspectives and stuff, and that's pretty much all the movie is. But they're really good in it. They're fantastic in it.
Fair enough. I mean, of course they're going to be fantastic. It's Tommy Lee Jones and Samuel Jackson.
Well, I mean, Sam Jackson sometimes like phones it in, where he's just like, "I'm just going to be fucking Sam Jackson."
I mean, that's
in this. He's actually like he's very, very good.
But even when he's just being Sam Jackson, he's very. I like him.
Sure, But he's actually like legitimately really good in it. And Tommy Lee Jones is really good in it because he's playing kind of a different character. He's usually like the gruff badass, and this he's just this like little meek like I kind of just want to die. Like he's just like this kind of different character for him, which is fun.
I had never heard of it until like
most people probably haven't,
because I have never seen a trailer. Nothing.
This came out a few years ago. It came out I think 2011.
Well, I didn't follow the media back then. I didn't know.
I mean, I didn't either. But if you don't have HBO, like you wouldn't have known about it because it's a made for HBO thing.
It's true.
So, I also watched Maniac Cop.
That sounds like a terrible movie.
It's like this little B movie from the 80s, 87.
So was it a terrible movie?
I mean, in terms of B movies, it was actually like kind of surprising. Like it has some quality to it, surprising. If you're not into like weird B movies, you probably look at this and go like, "This is what the fuck is this? This is stupid."
It's rubber.
Bruce Campbell's in it, and he's not playing like regular Bruce Campbell. He's kind of playing like he's playing like a normal guy. So I could see a lot of people being turned off by it because he's not playing.
This isn't Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, he's not playing like Evil Dead Bruce Campbell, where he's like hamming it up and just being fucking crazy and weird. He's playing just like a normal dude. But there's some okay stuff to it. Like I wasn't sitting through and be like, oh, fucking end. But it's fine. It's like this weird little like horror B movie slasher movie.
How many movies do you sit down and just go, please end? Like how many movies do you watch that you think that?
I mean, more than you would think. There's a lot of movies where I'm like, why is it still on? Fuck, man.
Should have ended an hour ago. Like
this movie's like an hour, but it feels like I've been here for all day. Fuck, man. There's a movie coming up that is kind of like that.
Oh, I know. My parents watched that movie and they said it was awful.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, okay. I didn't watch it. So
speaking of which, we can just fucking get into that. Reminiscence, starring Hugh Jackman. This is a new movie. That just came out Friday. I think yesterday, and I watched it yesterday. It's fine. I'm not gonna say it's terrible because it's not. It's not a terrible movie. There's a lot of great, like Hugh Jackman's great in it. All the cast is great in it. Rebecca Ferguson is really, really good in it. Thandie Newton's great in it. That fucking guy, whose name I just have not looked up. He was in Training Day. He was in like Dr. Sleep. He's that fucking guy who's in like everything.
You have a terrible description. I have no idea.
He's the brown dude.
The brown dude in Training Day.
Dr. Sleep. Remember in Training Day when they have Ethan Hawke in the bathtub and he's about to like shoot him?
Oh,
that guy.
Oh, that guy. Okay. That guy. I don't know his name.
He's great, but I just haven't bothered to look up his name. He's in this and he's really good. And there's some interesting like world building in this movie. Like it's kind of this sci-fi detective noir type of movie, and it's about like everything like sucks in the future. And so people like nostalgia is like really big and they want to just go back and like relive the best moments of their life. And so Hugh Jackman's in the business of like, we have this like little bathtub thing that you can sit in and you can like remember all your past memories. But in this little tub, you can like feel it. Like you can actually like be in the moment and like feel, you know, all the emotions and stuff like that. And it's kind of an interesting thing. And that actually comes into play later. And they do some interesting stuff with that. It's not just like this thing they do nothing with. Like it actually like ties into the detective work and everything. And it's fine. It's one of those movies that like it's got a lot of problems. Like the pacing is terrible in it. It's really slow. It's only like an hour and 50 minutes, but it felt like it was like 2.5 hours. Like there was a point where I was just like we're still going. Like fuck, man. Like the movie's over. Why are we still like continuing shit? And the ending was kind of bad. But it's fine. I wasn't angry that I watched it, but
I think this has that thing we were just talking about where you've seen like some shit, so this isn't like pure shit to you. But my parents haven't seen like pure shit, so like this is bad type thing. I don't know.
I mean, that's totally possible. I mean, like it's got some like there's some talent behind this. Like the difference between pure shit is when I can watch something like Tremors like 5. Where I'm like, they didn't care. They just made a bullshit thing.
They just threw some stuff together.
Yeah, this is a whatever. Like, there's some talent behind this, and this is made by people who have like done talented things and are actually creative people. I just think the script needed to be a little bit better, because the story ultimately isn't that like intriguing and interesting. I like the fact that it's this small little thing, but it's like why does this need to be like this fucking slow for this little story? Like, come on. And I mostly just watched it because of Hugh Jackman, because I like Hugh Jackman, and I want to see more movies with Hugh Jackman.
Fair enough. He's been Wolverine for so long. You think that finally he needs to do some more stuff.
And that's fucking great. And that's why I hope he doesn't come back as Wolverine, because then that's going to take up all of his time again.
Spoilers. I got some news on that later.
Of course you do. So, if he comes back, I'm going to be so upset. It's like, make another The Fountain, Hugh Jackman. The Fountain was amazing.
Do a space movie, Hugh Jackman. I don't know. I just want everybody to do.
That'd be awesome.
I just want everybody to do space movies.
Speaking of space movies, didn't you watch Sunshine?
I did. I totally forgot. I watched Sunshine. Dude, fantastic movie. Awesome. I loved it. Every bit of it. It was gorgeous. Like, looking.
It's a good looking movie, yeah.
Like, my God.
Danny Boyle makes fucking pretty ass movie.
My God, it was gorgeous. And I love the ship. The ship is awesome, because that's exactly how a ship, if you were making a ship to go to the sun, that's exactly how it would look. They did their research. They did a good job. Fantastic fucking movie. I loved it. Mark Strong showing up was a little weird, but
that's that moment when I told you, I was like, this movie takes a fucking turn.
I was sitting there, I was like,
Mark Strong showed up. That was like, holy shit, what is this movie?
When it happened, I was like, wait, what? I was like, it's like, is this real? Is this like a mirage? Or like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
And then it was real. I was like, what the fuck is this turned into? Like,
it reminds me a little bit of Alien, where it's like when Alien first starts off, it's like just a normal sci-fi movie, and then a fucking alien is there and he's killing people. Like, it's kind of like that, where it's like, it's a normal sci-fi movie. Like, we got to go do this thing, and then this fucking.
How did he live so long though? That's how
I don't know.
How did he live for like 6 years? And
I have no idea.
He's living like Darth Vader, just off pure hatred.
I can't die until everyone's dead.
Not Darth Vader, sorry, Darth Maul. That's what Darth Maul was, just living off pure hatred for Obi-Wan. But dude, I don't know if it's definitely not my favorite space movie, but it's up there. Like, I loved it. It's pretty good.
I liked it. I wouldn't say it's my favorite space movie, but I really liked it.
I really did too. I mean, it was mainly the visuals and Chris Evans. Chris Evans was freaking awesome.
Chris Evans was really good in it. But the whole cast was great in it. Young Wong was in it.
Yeah, he died. A lot of people died.
Most of them. I think spoilers, they all end up dying eventually.
Yeah, they're all dead. Mark Strong could still be around. That dude's he's invincible.
I don't think you could live being like a big meat man for very long.
He did it for 6 years apparently, so
I guess
I mean, he did get hurled into the sun, so
yeah. So he's fun.
If anybody wants to watch it after we just spoiled the entire movie, it's still good.
It's still a good movie. There's still a lot of like quality stuff in it, even if it is spoiled.
Go watch it.
I have it on Blu-ray, and it looks gorgeous.
You got it on Blu-ray? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you get it after you saw it or before you saw it?
I bought it on Blu-ray, and then I watched it, and I was like, "This is a weird fucking movie."
Oh, nice.
I'm glad I bought it on Blu-ray.
That's the space movies I need, stuff like that.
You should watch Europa Report.
Oh yeah, you've told me to watch that one before.
I don't know if you'd like it. It's been a long time since I've seen it, and I think if I went back and watched it, I don't know if I'd honestly like it, but it's got some interesting shit in it.
Mm-hmm. I just want everybody to do space movies. That's what I want.
Space movies sometimes are good.
Sometimes they're good, but when they're good, they're good.
They're very good. Speaking of very good, Superman and Lois ended.
Oh yeah,
finally after 6 months.
Worth it. Worth the end.
Fucking ended. I mean, the season finale wasn't perfect, but I think it did its job.
Was it satisfactory?
Like, I would say so.
Okay.
I think the biggest issue with the season overall was that it didn't really need to be 15 episodes.
It was 15 goddamn episodes?
Yeah. Because it, especially like once you get to the finale, it's like a lot of the stuff was kind of dragged out a little bit too long. Because if it was like 10 episodes, I could see this finale like being a little bit more condensed and concise, and then being able to kind of like wrap up everything a little bit more.
I thought it was gonna be like 12. That's what I thought it was gonna be.
I hope the next season's around like 10 to 13. I think that'd be a little bit more appropriate. It doesn't need to be 15 goddamn episodes.
Maybe that's the HBO Max thing. Like Netflix likes to do 13 for some reason.
If it was on HBO Max, they do like 10.
I mean, maybe, I don't know.
Because Doom Patrol season 2 was 9. It was supposed to be 10, but then COVID.
Is that like a CW thing where they're just like, oh, we gotta do 15?
Well, I mean, this is shorter than the other CW shows, because normally the other CW DC shows are like 25, 30 episodes.
Oh my God.
Because they're running like half a year, and they're shooting while
That's
they're
not even a
putting
TV
shit out.
show. That's a reality TV
That's
show now. Like
that's usually what network TV shows do. They have longer episodes. That's why I like streaming shows, because they're short.
But like Breaking Bad and The Walking Dead, they don't do that.
Well, yeah, they were the kind of the ones that started that, where they're like, let's not have 35 episodes this season. Let's do like 10.
The Walking Dead doesn't do that either. I mean, I don't know what they're doing now, but back when I was watching, they didn't do that.
Yeah,
so.
most shows nowadays try
Game of
to
Thrones doesn't do that, as far as I know.
That's why nobody really gives a shit about the CW shows anymore. Well, that's one reason. There's a lot of reasons. But
I've seen so many people review CW shows, and they're just like, this is awful.
They've gotten so bad.
They're like, The Flash season 7 is even worse than
season 1 of Arrow was honestly really good. I stopped watching after season 1, but season 1 was very good. And then I heard like as it went on, it just got worse and worse. And I hope that doesn't happen with this show. And that's why I want next season to move to HBO Max, because I do think that it being on the CW was kind of like all of the faults of the show were because it was a CW show.
You think like
it has like all the CW shit in it?
I was gonna say, do you think they could go like all out with it in HBO Max type thing?
Well, I think HBO Max, HBO Max would probably give it a slightly bigger budget. So some of the effects, not that it needs one, because it is kind of a smaller show. It's not, Superman's like blowing shit up every episode. It is like a more personal thing. But just like the effects that they do have could probably look a lot better if they went to HBO Max. And I feel like they would focus a little bit more on Superman and Lois rather than like all the other drama bullshit that's going on, which the drama stuff was fine. But they're early on in the season, there was a lot of like high school, like, oh, the kids and blah, 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 there's drama and blah, blah. They do eventually like grow, which I appreciated, that the kids actually like grow into being like interesting characters. They're not just shitty little brats the whole season. But it did kind of feel a little CWE sometimes, and I think HBO Max would just kind of take a different approach to it. It was the season finale was satisfying enough. I think there's enough great things overall in this first season that I can say it was a pretty great season. But hopefully the next season can improve and fix some of the problems.
And don't do like 7 hiatuses in the middle of the season.
I'm sure that'll help. That'll help a lot.
I feel like some people were watching it and like they just stopped watching it.
I'm sure a lot of people fell off, which is a little concerning because I want people to watch the show because it's good.
I don't know. Speaking of falling off, though, the Suicide Squad fell off in terms of viewership. I don't know what's going on with that, but
that's the thing. It's just DC in general. Like it's so funny that like everyone always bitches that DC never puts anything good out, and then once they put something good out, nobody watches it.
Because I guess nobody just has any trust anymore. I don't know.
But people are telling you, "Hey, this is good. Watch it," and you're just like, "Nah, whatever."
Garbage.
Like it's actually a good show, and I fucking love Tyler Hoechlin as Superman. He's probably. I said in my little like Snapchat thing that I did, he's probably my favorite live action Superman.
How dare you, Wade?
He's very good.
I love Henry Cavill. Get downvoted now.
I love Henry Cavill, and I love Chris Reeves as Superman also. But Tyler Hoechlin is so fucking good as Superman. He's so fucking good. If you watch the show, you'll understand.
I'm not giving an opinion on it. I'm just saying people are gonna hate you.
I think most people probably agree with me. He's so fucking good. And Elizabeth Tulloch is Lois Lane. They actually like made Lois interesting and like gave her shit to do.
Well, they better have. Her name is in the fucking title of the show. So
and like there's one character that shows up. I'm not gonna say who.
Bizarro.
It's a very interesting character, and I lost my shit when he showed up. Like when they had like the big reveal.
Oh, so it's a he. We got that.
It's a man. Yeah, of course it is.
Could have been like Wonder Woman or something.
I don't give a shit about women. But he was really cool, and his relationship with Superman was fucking awesome.
I don't know. I have no idea who it is.
You should watch the show. It's free to watch. So
free? That makes me not want to watch it.
It's free to watch on the CW website or CW Seed. One of them. I don't know.
How do you not know you've been watching?
Because I have it bookmarked on my thing, so I just click it and watch it.
Is that everything you watched?
That's not everything, but that's all I care to talk about.
It's like you care to talk about. All right, well, you ready to get into some news?
We have to do the MC review. You
Oh, I
cocksucker!
forgot. I always
You
forget.
forget every single episode as if we don't have a system.
Well, I always think we're gonna do it with the Marvel news, but then we never
We
do.
never have.
It never changes in my brain. I don't
We
know
never
why.
have.
My brain is just hardwired. Marvel goes with Marvel.
MC review.
What if?
Marvel's What If.
I can't say it like what's his name can Jeffrey Wright or whatever.
Oh, Jeffrey Wright. He's got such a fucking cool voice, man. I wish I could sound like that. Welcome to the dimension beyond dimensions, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, that intro.
That's such a great way to start the series off.
Yeah,
like, hey, I'm Jeffrey Wright. Awesome. I'm gonna be in the Batman.
We're 2 episodes behind, so we got to do 2 episode review. What'd you think? What'd you think so far?
Well, first I want to just start off by saying everyone needs to chill the fuck out. Because when the first episode came out, I saw reviews of it and everyone's like, this is the greatest goddamn thing I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, y'all need to seriously like chill. This isn't the greatest thing ever.
No, it's definitely not.
This isn't like mind-blowing shit.
It's not even the best Marvel thing ever. So
it's not even remotely close to the best Marvel thing yet. It has potential to be, but it's not yet. And the first episode especially wasn't great.
I'm flat out. I'm gonna say, like, I enjoyed the first episode. It could have been better, but it could have
been a lot better.
I enjoyed it. Like, for what it is, I was like, okay, like I see what they were doing. Like, okay, we can't do something like super crazy for the first episode. We got to like build into that.
No, you can't.
I see what they were doing. I feel like that's what they were doing.
Because the problem with this show, and I don't know if the whole show is going to be like this, and I have a feeling it might be, which is kind of disappointing, is that it kind of just feels like, oh, what if this character was that? And I'm like, I don't want this show to just be that over and over and over again. Like, I want them to just go, hey, let's take some really odd fucking characters and just make some weird fucking shit. Like, there was a news story that came out recently that, like, originally they wanted to do a like Cronenberg-esque like body horror episode where Spider-Man like turns into like this giant spider thing, but they're like, no, that's too scary for this show. Like, that's what I want to see. I want to see weird out there shit. I don't want to see, oh, what if Peggy Carter was Captain America? Like, that's like fun. That's fun, but I want more.
Well, to help you a little bit, I'm pretty sure that there is at least one episode where it's like, what if Ultron wins? So there's not always like, oh,
okay,
it's just this character being that character.
I hope it's more than just that, because so far the first 2 episodes have kind of just been that, and I wanted to kind of branch out to do more.
Also, I'm pretty sure you think it's an anthology series. I don't think it is.
Yeah, well, that's because that's what it was marketed as. They were like, hey, this is like individual little stories. I think they're building up to like an Avengers thing.
I think they are. I think all these characters are gonna like intermingle with each other at the end.
No, that's not what
I mean, I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure, but I think that's the way.
I think they are. I don't want that, because this show needs to be like the Twilight Zone. Every episode needs to be able to stand on its own, and it just needs to be this 30-minute little here's this thing out in the universe doing some weird shit. That's all this show needs to be. Not everything needs to be fucking connected. God damn it.
Well, when you're talking about Marvel, everything's got to be connected.
That's going to be Marvel's biggest problem going forward, is that everything has to be connected always, all the time. Just make a thing.
Well, when they made a thing, Wade, what'd you think about episode 1?
Episode 1 wasn't great. There are some really great things about that episode. Like, I think the art style is great. I know some people have an issue with it. I don't really care about those people's dumb opinions on animated stuff. I think the art style is great. There's a lot of moments in the first episode that, like, it looked like I was looking at a comic book panel, and I think that's why they gave it that art style.
I was gonna say, I think that's what they were going for. It grew on me. I thought when I was watching the trailer, I was like, I don't know about this art style. I don't know how it's gonna work.
Always thought it looked interesting.
In still form, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, you sometimes could just get like a little frame of it. Yeah, it looks gorgeous.
Sometimes in motion, I can see it looking a little wonky, but like overall, it looks pretty good. So overall, it looks pretty good.
I think that like I liked some of the first episode very much felt like an old school, like it felt like one of the, I don't know if you've ever seen like the old like Fleischer Superman cartoons. It felt like one of those where it was like, Superman's here to save the day and blah, blah, blah. Like, it's got that like radio announcer, like 1940s type of feel to it. And I really like that. I thought that was appropriate for the episode. Like, there's that whole montage with like Peggy Carter just like punching Nazis and it's like silent. but it's just playing this like 1940s like music. I was like, that's fun. I really like that. I think though the biggest problem that's gonna hinder the show, because I noticed it in both episodes, is that a lot of the voice acting isn't great. And I think that's because a lot of the actor, like Haley Atwell and Sebastian Stan and Chadwick Boseman stuff, they're not used to voice acting.
Yeah,
and a lot of people think, oh, you're an actor, you can be a voice actor. It's like, no, it's kind of different
because they're just sitting there talking to a mic. They're not talking off of somebody or anything like that.
A little bit different. You have to. It's more than just, oh, hey, I can do this. I'm speaking to a mic. Like it is different, and I definitely noticed Sebastian Stan was terrible.
I legit
it didn't even sound like Sebastian Stan.
Middle in the episode, I looked up. I was like, "Is this Sebastian Stan?" Because like it didn't sound like him, like you said, at all.
It didn't sound like it, and he was really bad. He was like, "Oh, that's Steve Rogers." And I was like, who gave him this direction?
I mean, to be fair, he barely had any lines in the episode.
Doesn't matter who gave him that weird direction.
I don't know.
They
also,
say it like this.
Who didn't sound the same was actually the guy who voiced Red Skull was the same guy from Infinity War and Endgame, which they didn't sound the same at all either. Which was
because he's playing a different Red Skull.
What do you mean?
He's playing 1940s Red Skull. He's not playing Red Skull that's been in this fucking weird dimension forever.
I figured he'd try to keep some continuity.
He sounded a lot like Hugo Weaving, actually, which is interesting.
I mean, he does a good impression of.
Yeah, he does a very good impression. That's probably why they got
that guy. I forget.
But he sounded like Red Skull from First Avenger, and I was like, that's kind of like. At first, I was like, is this Hugo Weaving?
The guy who played Steve Rogers sounded like freaking Chris Evans. I was a little surprised.
He did sometimes. There were more moments where I was like, "This isn't Chris Evans," but he had
but I could tell
reflection that like there were points like when he got like really quiet, he kind of sounded like Chris Evans.
I had some people debating online. They were like, "The Chris Evans was in the episode," and people were like, "No, he wasn't."
No, it's not. It's not that similar. And like I could tell, I was like, "Yeah, this isn't Chris Evans."
Also,
that's fine. I don't care.
What was really weird to me is that they brought that guy back to play Howard Stark from the first Avenger.
Oh, they got that actor?
Yeah, but they replaced him in the MCU later on. But they brought him back for that, which is weird.
I mean, that is a little interesting. I mean, they replaced him with an actor who already played Tony Stark or Howard Stark before him anyway.
Yeah, but like,
so he's not really replaced. He's kind of just the younger Howard Stark, which is it's weird that they have two actors doing that. But.
Yeah, I thought they would bring back the other guy who's been Howard Stark for ever.
Yeah, he's been Howard Stark more, but
he was only Howard Stark in the one movie. The first Avenger. That was it.
Well, wasn't he in Agent Carter?
Oh yeah, he was in that show.
He's been a little bit, but it is a little weird. That whole Howard Stark thing is fucking weird.
Yeah, but they brought him back. Was that guy supposed to be Tommy Lee Jones, or was that some just different general?
I think that was supposed to be Tommy Lee Jones. He doesn't look or sound anything like Tommy.
No,
Lee Jones,
he doesn't.
But I think that was supposed to be his character.
I couldn't tell if it was supposed to be him or not
because he has the same kind of like, oh, you promised me an arm and you gave me this girl. Like he has the same like lines and everything. But
he was kind of more of a douchebag than he was in the movie too. So I was just like, is this the same character or not? Like,
but I think the biggest issue I had with this was that it was kind of just the first Avenger again, but like a truncated version of it, but with Peggy Carter. Like that's kind of all it was.
Yeah,
it didn't go too crazy, and to a certain extent, I get that they wanted to kind of ease people into the show, but go crazy with this show. We don't need to ease people into Marvel stuff. They're gonna watch it, even if if this episode ended with like Peggy Carter's head exploding. People would have still watched it and loved it, and like it go as weird as you fucking want, Marvel. Like
I thought they were gonna do like Steve Rogers becomes the Winter Soldier when
that would have been interesting
when he fell off the train or blew up on the train.
That would have actually been kind of cool. Like, what if Steve Rogers became Winter Soldier? Like, would he be a nice Winter Soldier or would he be a fucking asshole? Like, that could be kind of neat, I guess.
That's what I thought they were gonna do. I was like, oh snap, they killed him, but like not really, because I know he's gonna come back. But like, is he gonna come back as a Winter Soldier? Or is he gonna come back as Steve Rogers?
Yeah, that could be fun.
But no, they just made him come back as the Iron Man suit thing or whatever. Which is like now that I think about it, is that gonna affect Tony Stark in the future? Like, if this isn't an anthology thing and like it does continue, since they already built.
That's the shit I want to know. This entire fucking show is about what if this happened and everything was different. I want to know some of this stuff because I think that would probably affect Tony Stark.
Like, is his Iron Man suit going to be better because they already built one back in the 40s or something?
Probably, which they shouldn't have the technology to build it in the 40s, but whatever. It's a cartoon.
Whatever.
But yeah, I think that would affect the entire universe, really.
Right.
In some way. We had an Iron Man suit in the 40s. Like,
but if these episodes are connected to each other, so I guess Peggy Carter becoming Captain America leads into episode 2, where Chadwick Boseman is in space or whatever. Black Panther's in space.
So you think you're saying that because she became Captain America, that's
is that what?
caused?
No, I'm asking. Do you think that's what it is? Like, if these episodes are connected, that one change is what's causing this ripple effect.
Probably, if they are connected, probably. Yeah, I think that's dumb. I want different stories from different universes, Marvel. God damn it.
Maybe it is, though, because on the intro, it sounds like they're saying that this is a different universe in episode 2. But
yeah, he says that every episode.
Yeah, so I don't know.
But I have a sneaky feeling Marvel's gonna try to like make this whole season like connected to every episode, and I don't want that.
I don't know. What about episode 2 though? What do you think?
Episode 2, I think, was an improvement because it did kind of expand a little bit, and it did kind of do a lot of different things.
Episode 2 was kind of weird. Kind of weird.
It was a little weird. It had a lot of the same problems that the first episode had, like some of the voice acting. Chadwick Boseman wasn't great in it.
He was better than Sebastian Stan.
He was a lot better than Sebastian Stan, but it felt like he wasn't used to voice acting. It felt like he was definitely trying, and he wasn't just like phoning it in. But it felt like he wasn't like, I'm not, this isn't my field. Like, I don't really know how to like portray this properly because it's voice acting. And it also doesn't make any sense why T'Challa would still have an accent, but that's irrelevant.
I mean, he grew up to be like 10 or 11 in Wakanda. Like he still had an accent.
Yeah, but he's what, 30 when we see him? True. He would have lost his accent a little bit over that 20 years of being around Michael Rooker's weird fucking country accent. Like,
Michael Rooker did a good job voice acting. I don't know if he does voice acting stuff, but he did a pretty good job.
I don't know. He was kind of just being Michael Rooker. I do like the how T'Challa, like, I love how T'Challa is like a competent Starlord. I think that's
he's funny. Like the savior of the universe.
Yeah, he shows up and they do that thing where he meets Jaimin Hansu and he's like who are you? And he's like, Starlord. He's like, oh shit, you're Starlord. I was like, that's kind of fun. I was like, of course T'Challa would be like what Starlord like should be. Like, yeah, that makes total sense, and I love that. I think a lot of the humor didn't really land, and I think that's because they were trying to do James Gunn humor without James Gunn.
Yeah,
which was a little weird.
The humor that they were trying to force, for me, at least the one joke that I didn't find that funny, was the whole Thanos thing, where he's like, "It's genocide."
Yeah,
it's like, no,
is a joke that needed to fucking die.
I was just like, you say it once and then be done with it.
So have a little one-off thing where it's like, yeah, that kind of sounds like genocide, and then move on.
Yeah, you don't need it.
Every time Thanos is in a scene, they're like, oh, by the way, did you know he's genocidal? I was like, that's a meme thing. Like, that doesn't need to be in the show.
Right.
Leave it the fuck alone. Like that, and because Thanos, I feel like if Thanos even remotely thought about being good, he would have he would have changed everything.
Right.
And he wouldn't even be thinking about that anymore. So I feel like that would just be like a thing that nobody would really talk about.
Right. The what's her name? Who plays Nebula?
Karen Gillan.
Karen Gillan. She did a good job too.
She was really good.
She did.
And I like that look that Nebula had, where she had hair and everything.
She actually looked like a person.
She looked like a person, and I think it was very clear that her and T'Challa were fucking.
Yeah. Go T'Challa, I guess. We didn't see Gamora in this.
No, which is weird. It's a little.
We didn't see Rocket or Groot either, but we saw Drax. He was in this.
I mean, Rocket and Groot, that makes sense. It's fine.
Yeah, but we saw. It was weird that Drax is just like a bartender or whatever.
Yeah, he's now that Thanos didn't kill his family, he's got some random job somewhere.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to send this picture to my family.
Yeah.
And the guy who voices Drax sounds like Dave Bautista.
He didn't. He did not sound like Dave Bautista.
To me,
everyone was saying that, and I was like, "This doesn't sound anything like Dave Bautista."
I mean, if I sit there and I was like, "Yeah, you know what? This sounds like Dave Bautista."
I didn't get that at all.
I didn't care if Dave Bautista was in it. If that's the only time we see Drax in the entire show, like, I understand why they didn't want to pay Dave Bautista.
I know he was pissed. He was like, "They didn't fucking ask me." I'm like, "Well, if you're in one episode for like a scene, like, they're not going to hire you to do that."
Right. But apparently somebody came out and said, like, we asked everybody. So, like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
We asked him. He was like, I ain't doing no fucking cartoons.
I guarantee this is what happened. They asked his agent, and his agent didn't talk to him. His agent was like, nah, we ain't doing that.
That's probably what happened. Like, no, we're not doing a little silly kids cartoon.
And then he didn't hear him out. Like, oh, all these other people.
What the fuck? I've always wanted to do a kids cartoon. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're fired.
You're done. Get out of here. But episode 2 was definitely more of like you said, what we wanted. Like, oh, like this is kind of like
it still kind of has that like, oh, what if this character was just that? Like,
but the universe did change. Like, it's not just
it felt a little
Guardians
bit more
again.
like, oh, this would change everything.
Yeah, and like I guess T'Challa's dad never dies because he's there at the end.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just weird. It was just weird when Thanos showed up for me too. I was just like, wait. Like,
well, I mean, his dad wouldn't have died because he wouldn't have anything to do with Winter Soldier. Or
I guess that's true.
He would be chilling in Wakanda, being like, "Yo, I gotta find my son."
There's no Winter Soldier. That also ties into the first one because there's no Winter Soldier.
Sure, I didn't take it like that. I just assumed.
I didn't until just now.
Everything's different. Like,
I didn't until just now. It could be a tie-in. You never know.
It could. It probably is.
I don't like Buff Collector. That makes me uncomfortable.
That was interesting. That he like he's so much different. That he's just like, now that Thanos is gone, he's like, yo, I have the chance to be a role villain. I'm gonna get jacked.
I'm gonna work out.
He's actually like a villain. And that was Benicio del Toro, which surprised the fuck out of me because that did not sound like him at all.
No, it didn't. No, I feel like they just didn't have enough mics. Like, they were just like, all right, let's get like everyone their own mic, and then they ran out of money. And they're like, maybe that's what I
don't know.
I don't know, but like that didn't sound like him at all. And I feel like does he do voice work? I feel like he has.
Not before. To my knowledge. I'm sure he might have done like a cartoon here or there, but
maybe. I don't know.
He was good in it, but it just
did they bring back the guy for Howard the Duck too?
Yeah, Seth Green.
They brought everybody back.
Everybody was the same except for Drax and I think one other character. Because like Jaimin Hansu came back and he voiced that same character.
He knocked it out of the park. He was awesome.
He was fun. I thought a lot of his humor wasn't great either.
That's not his fault that the writing was that way, but like his acting, I thought was like
really good. Yeah, I liked him.
I dig it. Sean Gunn came back too.
Sean Gunn was back, yeah.
So yeah, dude, they brought. And I think the guy who voices Taserface was the same guy. Like, they brought everybody back.
Yeah.
I still think the only people they didn't bring back for the entire show is just Tom Holland, RDJ, Chris Evans, and I guess Drax. So
I think a lot of the big guys aren't coming back, which is fine. Like,
Tom Holland said in an interview recently that he wanted to come back, but his Sony contract didn't allow him to. So
yeah, probably.
Probably what it was.
But that's fine. I don't really get. I don't understand why everyone is like making a big deal out of that. Like, I don't care. It's a different thing. Like,
but there is a still for one of the upcoming episodes where it was post-apocalypse Black Widow. So I don't know what that episode ties into, but okay. I think that's the Ultron episode where Ultron wins. I guess Black Widow lives through that, and she's in the post-apocalyptic world or whatever.
I have no idea.
I don't know, but I'm excited for where things go. I hope, like you said, it gets more weird. But first 2 episodes were fine.
I want it to be some weird Twilight Zone shit. Like, I want. It's like, what if Howard the Duck became like a space pimp? Like, I want some weird shit.
They could do a Planet Hulk situation with this.
Yeah, do a Planet Hulk properly. Like, do that.
Or World Breaker Hulk or anything.
They could do anything.
You could make what if like Hulk was bad, I guess, and but I mean they do that all the time. But you could do that.
They could do news stories if they fucking wanted to.
Yeah, do anything.
They can do. That's what I hope. Like, next season and a lot of these other episodes are. I hope it's not just, hey, what if Loki was Thor? Like, I don't care. I don't care about any of that.
We'll see with episode 3. I don't remember. They released a list of.
I think the next episode is Loki, King of Asgard. I think. Like, what if he was like a real king?
Let me see if I can find the episode list real quick. I think you're right though.
That's what I heard it was. Which I guess that's a little interesting, but I don't know. That's not as interesting as I want it to be.
Yeah, episode 3 is called Loki Invasion. Don't know what that is. Episode 4 is called Doctor Strange Supreme.
That episode seems, I think that's the one where it's like Doctor Strange versus evil Doctor Strange. That one sounds completely like uninteresting to me. Because it's literally, okay, bad Doctor Strange. You got to fight him.
Cool. Episode 5 is Party Thor. That's what that's called. I don't know what the
fuck is that.
I don't know. Episode 6 is Killmonger and Tony, which was in the trailer.
Yeah.
Episode 7 is Zombies, which we're getting the Marvel Zombies, which that one could be.
That one sounds that I'm excited for that one because I want to see that because that sounds like a completely different thing. That doesn't sound like, hey, we're gonna take this movie and just switch the characters. It's like that's like a new thing. That's a new story. I want to hear it. I want to know that story.
Episode 8 is Tony Stark on Sakaar, which that could be interesting too.
What the fuck is he doing on Sakaar?
I don't know, but like, is he just Tony Stark or is he Iron Man?
Is he? Well, I would assume he's Iron Man. How to get there?
That is true, but
is Hulk a bad guy and he's got to go punch Hulk in the dick?
Oh, if he's got
a bad guy,
he's taking Thor's spot in Ragnarok.
If this is just Ragnarok with Iron Man, I don't want that.
And then episode 9, which is either the season finale or the mid-season finale.
I think that's the season finale. I think there's only 9 episodes.
It's called Ultron, Vision, Infinity Stones, and the Guardians of the Multiverse. So
that's a long ass title.
Yeah,
that's so long.
Probably because that's when everybody's coming together.
I don't want that. We don't need that.
I don't know, but that's the episode list. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. I'm interested. I'm hopeful.
You're hopeful?
Show, but I have a feeling it's kind of just going to be, we're doing Avengers again, but the roster's a little different.
The roster's a little different.
Like, all right, whatever.
Other people are dead.
Even though it's still the same characters, they're just played by different people. Like, it's still Star-Lord and it's still Captain America, but it's just, now it's Peggy Carter. Now it's T'Challa.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
Like, who's Black Panther now? Chris Pratt?
That would be no. Chris Pratt was working at a Dairy Queen.
He was
hilarious.
That was hilarious.
I'd be like, of course, Star-Lord would be working as a janitor at a Dairy Queen.
Yeah, and it seemed like at the end they were implying that Ego won because
it sounded like Ego just kind of like blew the whole world up.
Yeah, because Jeffrey Wright narrating, he was like, and then that's like the world ended or something.
Yeah, but that's a different story. And I'm like,
yeah,
you're just gonna brush over that. All right,
yeah, like that. The what? Like.
I don't know, maybe that's why the Avengers had to come together at the end.
I was gonna say none of the Avengers did anything about that because they were around when Chris Pratt was doing that.
I would kind of like that though. Just have that be a self-contained little universe, and it blew up.
It's dead.
Something else.
Well, at least the Earth is dead. I don't know about the entire universe, but
just do that. That's fun.
I think that's all for the MC review, though. If you're satisfied with that. You ready to get into some movie news?
Movie news.
I only got like 3 things, and they're both.
I only got a couple of things,
and they're all gonna probably piss you off. Well, I don't know actually. At least one of them is, but I think you already know it, so it may not. Is
it possible to do a podcast episode where I don't just like rant and rave about bullshit?
No, because that's the best podcast episodes.
I guess I'd like to not have a heart attack one of these days.
No, well, you're gonna die on this podcast, and then
that'll be the best episode. I'll get the most views.
I'll upload it somehow. I don't know how, but I'll upload it. And
I don't think is that allowed on YouTube. Like if I died mid video right now,
it's technically live, so like
I guess.
But like we'll title it like "Man Dies During Podcast."
Man dies during podcast gone wrong.
And then it won't be a fake out. And people are like, "Oh shit, he actually died."
No, but then everybody, oh, that's fake.
That's fake.
Not dead. It's like, no, he died.
He did. He had a heart attack when somebody told him that Batman was gonna be gay.
Yeah, some weird. Yeah, he had a heart attack when over some fucking Star Wars news.
They said Batman and Star Wars was crossing over. He had a heart attack,
and he was just like, "I can't do this anymore." His heart gave out.
Just passed out right there, dead.
That's the way I want to go.
You want to start with the movie news? You want me to start?
I got some bullshit fucking news.
All right, you hit it.
Idris Elba is in Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
That was one of mine. What the fuck, Idris? What are you doing?
I like that Idris is like taking all these weird fucking movie roles, but it's like, bro, you could have been fucking Batman. You could have been a cool fucking Batman. You could have been Jon Stewart, probably. You could have been dope fucking James Bond. You would have made me actually gave a shit about James Bond. But he's like, no, I want to be Knuckles. Like, all right, whatever. I'm not going to go see Sonic 2 because of him, but because I didn't like the first one.
Fair enough. It's just weird to me that he just left the MCU. He's like, I want to do more serious stuff.
Yeah, he said that. He literally said that. He was like, the MCU, fuck the MCU. I don't want to do that. And he's like, you want to be in Suicide Squad and Sonic 2. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And Hobbs and Shaw.
And Hobbs and Shaw. None of this is serious, by the way.
These aren't movies that we were thinking you were talking about.
Yeah, if he thinks this is serious, like, you need to get your fucking head checked, Idris Elba.
I love Idris, man. I love Idris, but
I love him. He's great and everything, but
I don't know what he's talking about. Like, I don't.
He's a fucking nutcase. He's like the new Wesley Snipes. He's just a fucking weirdo.
He's losing it, man. He's losing
it, man.
He could be in Star Wars, man. He could be in Star Wars.
Don't put Idris Elba in Star Wars. Don't subject
him to Mandalorian.
This bullshit.
Mandalorian.
No.
Season 3.
Leave him alone. He's already got 2 shows that he's fucking on.
He's the new Mandalorian. Shit. The Mandalorian dies. He becomes a new one.
I mean, I'd probably watch it at that point. Still probably wouldn't be great. I'd suffer through it for Idris, though.
But I want to see Idris.
Because Idris would make an awesome fucking cowboy.
Him and fucking Carl Weathers, man.
Oh, fuck. Make that happen. Make a movie. Make a buddy cop movie with Idris Elba and Carl Weathers. Fuck. I'm gonna go tweet Idris Elba and be like, "Yo, you wanna be in a movie with Carl Weathers?"
I don't know what it is, but that's the whole premise. What it is.
I haven't written anything, but hey, let's make this happen.
Let's make it happen. And he's gonna be like, "Do you have Carl Weathers on board?" Be like, "No," but
I'd be like, "Does he have a Twitter?" I'll tweet at him.
If we get you, he might.
Like, yo, Carl Weathers, I know you're like a big shot now, doing all this Disney stuff, and you're in the Mandalorian, but like, you want to be in a little shitty buddy cop movie with Idris Elba?
He'd be like, "Hell yeah!"
He'd be like, "Who?"
And then you send him a clip of Hobbs and Shaw where he says, "I'm Black Superman."
I'm Black Superman. He's like, "Nah, I don't want to do this."
That guy.
That guy. It's gonna be fucking Apollo Creed and Black Superman.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. The crossover no one knew we needed.
I want it.
In your dreams, Wade. In your dreams. What else you got?
Chronicle 2 apparently is in development with a female
2?
lead.
Oh. Who's the lead?
I don't know. They just said they want a female lead.
Why?
There's nobody cast or anything. I don't even think a script's written, but they're like, "Hey, we want to do this."
So there's no point in having a female lead. You just want a female lead. There's script.
Never really a point for having a female lead other than just saying you want a female lead, Devin.
I mean, if they're the best actor or actress for the role, then sure, yeah, go for it. But like,
no, they're jumping on the woke trend, just being like, "Oh, we want to empower women." And like Chronicle wasn't this huge thing.
I mean, I understand if you write a script and it's about
if you write a great story and it just happens to be about a woman, go for it. But I don't even think there's a script written.
No. So if that's the case, boo you, whoever owns Chronicle. I don't know what it is.
And this will come out and it'll be this woke fucking bullshit and everyone will hate it and then they'll get blamed for being sexist and then no one will ever think about this movie ever again.
It's so weird though too, because like in Girl Busters, they're like, "Oh, we don't like want to sexism and all that stuff," and then like they just like make Chris Hemsworth like that.
There's a lot of movies that do that. Jurassic World 2 did that also. When that like fucking scientist lady, she was like, "I'm not like you shouldn't be objectifying me. I'm a lady. I'm a scientist." And then she immediately, like right after she says that, she goes up to Chris Pratt. I can't even say his fucking name. And calls him like a beefcake. Like, what the fuck? Like, that doesn't make any sense. You talk about like not being objectified, but then you objectify Chris Pratt. It goes both ways.
No way. It doesn't count if it's towards men. It doesn't count.
I mean, I don't care.
Have you
honestly? I don't give a shit, but I hate hypocrisy.
Have you seen that interview? This is completely off topic. It's not off topic, but it's off topic for our podcast. That interview where a female interviewer was interviewing Henry Cavill for The Witcher. Have you seen that interview before?
I don't think so.
I've
seen a lot of interviews for that, but like,
she basically asked him a bunch of questions on like, "Why are you so hot? Why you?" And he's like, he's like visibly uncomfortable, like trying to answer these questions. He's
like, fuck off. Ask me questions about the show.
He literally said that. He was like, "Can we talk about The Witcher?" Like,
yeah, because and that's the thing that like people seem to kind of forget is like all of these like superhero guys and everything. Like when Chris Evans was cast as Captain America, everybody all the time would always just ask him, "Hey, how'd you get so fucking jacked? Like, what did you have to do? Like, your body's insane. Isn't that weird?" If anybody said anything remotely similar to like that to a woman, they'd be gone. They'd be fired. It's the same thing. We don't like to acknowledge it's the same thing. And as men, we're just supposed to suck it up and be like, "Oh, whatever." But women can't do that. So it's like it's all a bunch of fucking horse shit, and I hate everybody.
It is. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen to women. I'm sure it does.
No, it does. It happens to everyone.
But if you're gonna fight against one side, you got to fight against both sides.
You got to fight if you're for, like over sexualization, or if you're against over sexualization, I guess I should say. Because if you're for it, you're sexist or misogynist, whatever. But if you're against that, you should be against that.
For every,
it doesn't
gender.
matter who's being it doesn't matter who's being objectified. You should be against objectification.
But no, if it's men, it doesn't matter.
But no, we don't matter anymore.
If men get raped, it doesn't matter. Whatever.
Yeah, Terry Crews got molested by a man, and when he came out and said that, everyone was like, suck it up, Terry Crews. I was like, what the fuck? No, for one, that was probably hard for him to do.
Probably.
Because being molested by someone isn't just like that. That's why whenever people say like, oh, I've been molested, I'm like, no, you haven't. Because most people who have been molested don't just like saying that.
It's a traumatic experience.
It's a very traumatic thing. People don't just, hey, by the way, I've been molested. You know that? Nobody likes to say they've been molested.
No. They don't just go around telling everybody type thing.
And so that's why when people just go around telling people that, I'm like, no, you haven't. You haven't been molested.
And especially I feel bad for Terry Crews because even when he came out and said it, nobody gave a shit. So.
Yeah, nobody cared. And everyone literally told him to suck it up and get over it. But then, and that was during the whole Me Too thing where we were literally saying, hey, these people are bad. Get rid of them. And then he came out and was like, yo, I was fucking molested. And everyone was like, fuck off. I was like, what the fuck?
I also feel like
so weird.
His physique hurts him in that sense. People are like, oh, he's a big guy.
That's why everyone expected him, because everyone expected Terry Crews, a black man, to just punch out this white guy. Like,
which I don't feel like.
But you realize how bad that would make him look if he did that.
That I don't feel like Terry Crews is that person.
He's not. Like, he's a very nice dude.
Yeah.
But like, because apparently that happened at like a party, like a public, like an industry like party. So imagine Terry Crews punching out this little white producer. The news wouldn't be white producer molests Terry Crews. It would be Terry Crews assaults white
kills a guy by punching him.
And then he'd get all this negative press, and he wouldn't have a career anymore. And I was like, he couldn't do that. Even if he wanted to.
No. But yeah. I don't know I don't even remember how we got on this topic.
Whatever.
That's our political rant of the day.
Fuck Chronicle 2. I don't need a Chronicle 2 in general.
Yeah, we don't really need a
Chronicle
second one.
Fine. I'm not yearning for a sequel.
Chronicle wasn't like game changing for me, honestly. Like it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. It was fine.
Everybody hypes it up. Like, Chronicle's amazing. And I'm like,
those people are dumb and they've never seen movies before.
Like,
it's revolutionary because it's found footage.
Footage. No one's ever done that ever. It's like, well.
Well, that's a trend that people like to do in Hollywood. Whenever a movie comes out, they go, "This is the first thing to ever do this thing." It's like, no, it's not.
Trust me, most ideas in Hollywood have already been done.
They've been done. You just haven't seen them.
What else you got? Movie news.
That's all the movie news, honestly.
Oh, okay. I got two more things.
Nothing.
I got two more things. I don't know. Are you a big Flash Gordon fan at all? You care about Flash Gordon?
I've seen a lot of not a lot, but I own one of the old original serials on DVD. I've tried to watch the show that came out in like the 50s or whatever. It's not very good. I've seen the 90s movie. That's fucking rad. It's awesome. So I'm not like a huge fan, but
But you know enough about Flash Gordon. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know if you know, but Taika Waititi's making a new Flash Gordon film. We've talked about it before. We've talked about it before, but I don't remember if you remember us talking about it. But it's officially, he was on the fence if it was going to be animated or live action. He's making it live action. So that was
man.
That was the big news for it. So
awesome. I'd be down for an animated one. That'd be fucking crazy.
But how do you feel about Taika
Waititi doing a Flash? That's perfect. Like Thor Ragnarok is a Flash Gordon movie.
Yeah.
Like that is, I want that but even weirder. Like, because if you've seen the 90s movie, that movie's so fucking odd. It's so weird and out there, and it doesn't make any fucking sense, but it's so cool, and it's a lot of fun. I just wonder how they're going to handle Ming the Merciless, because Ming the Merciless is like this very stereotypical Chinese character, and he's always been played by white people. So it's I don't know how they're going to, if they're even going to approach that, or if they're just going to make like a new villain. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. It sounds awesome.
I have faith in Taika, so we'll see. I
have faith. Yeah, Make a fucking like either him or James Gunn. Like they could make a dope Flash Gordon movie.
Who's gonna be Flash Gordon? That's the question.
Just get some buff blonde haired white guy, Chris Hemsworth.
I say Chris Pratt.
He's not. He doesn't have the Flash Gordon look. Flash Gordon has a specific look.
He could get like more muscular if he really.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about his face.
Wow.
He doesn't have a Flash Gordon face.
Wow. Put the Owen Wilson wow in there.
Wow. like it did in Tremors.
Wow. Wow. And then my last piece of movie news is I guess some Wes Anderson news.
Oh boy.
Picking up off Isle of Dogs. He added a new cast member to whatever his new movie is. I don't know what the movie's called.
I forget what the movie's called, but I'm excited for it.
Scarlett Johansson joins the cast with Bill Murray, Tilda Swinton, Tom Hanks, and Margot Robbie.
Oh, this must be a different movie because there's this movie he just made that's like been delayed forever. So this must be like a different movie because this movie's already been shot. So this must be like a different thing.
Yeah, I don't remember what the title of the movie was, but ScarJo's back with Wes Anderson. So
this sounds neat.
And Tom Hanks, I'm curious on how Tom Hanks is going to mix.
I don't know. I don't think he's ever worked with Wes Anderson. That's an interesting ass cast. That's a different cast because he usually likes to just kind of use the same people. It's like Bill Murray, Owen Wilson, Jason Schwartzman.
Well, Bill Murray's in this, so he's got Bill Murray.
Of course he is. I want to be like Bill Murray in Hollywood, where like he doesn't have to like worry about getting work because it's like every time Wes Anderson's doing it, like I'm gonna be in it. Like
I feel like people are just like he's like one of those people like Bruce Willis, where like I want Bill Murray. Like there's no like we're gonna go cast for somebody. Like no, I want Bill Murray. Yeah,
he doesn't have to audition anymore.
Yeah, type thing.
Nobody wants Bruce Willis. They have to work with Bruce Willis.
Well, I'm talking about back in like the 90s and 80s.
Oh, sure.
If you had an action film, like we need Bruce Willis.
We need Bruce Willis. He doesn't want anything to do with this movie.
That's all my movie news, though.
Fucking A.
Are we going into Star Wars or we got TV news?
I guess, yeah, I've got some Star Wars news.
All right. Let's talk about that new trailer that came out.
Star Wars Visions.
Visions.
Everyone's losing their goddamn minds over this thing.
This is way you need to just clip yourself from earlier. Stop losing your goddamn minds.
Calm the fuck down. This looks neat, but chill. Everyone, I've seen so many people saying this is going to be the greatest fucking thing ever.
This could easily flop. Like, easily.
And honestly, this is kind of genius on Disney's part because they're going to get the Star Wars fans in because the Star Wars fans are going to watch everything they put out anyway. But now they're also got the fucking anime weebs who are like who just love anime just because it's anime who are going to watch it. So it's like they brought in a whole new audience. And that seems like kind of why a lot of people are freaking out about it, simply because it's anime. Like, because the trailer was fine. The trailer was okay. But like there wasn't really like it didn't tell me much about like what it was. So like I don't think anyone's excited because it's like, oh, this looks like an interesting story.
Yeah, I feel like
no excited simply because it's anime. And I'm like, that's fine, I guess, but like what is the story?
Yeah, I have no idea what it's about.
Like
I think based off the title and what I've heard, it's kind of like about mythical stories in Star Wars, but I don't know.
It's like an anthology type of thing.
Yeah. Like it's that's
neat.
Like here's like a story they tell in the Star Wars universe. Like this is what it is or whatever.
That's neat. That's fine.
That
sounds cool.
I don't know if that's like actually the case or not. That's what I've heard. But I mean, the style. This is what I was surprised by because I heard that it was going to be an anime style a couple weeks ago before the trailer came out, and I was just like, that could be interesting. And I thought for sure they were going to do visually anime and then keep it like English or whatever. But no, they went full out Japanese.
I'm sure there's going to be a dubbed version.
You think so?
I think because I feel like if it's all subtitles, I feel like it's going to turn a lot of people off. Like people who aren't used to anime.
I don't know because
I feel like it's going to turn a lot of people off.
You could have argued that with Parasite, and Parasite did really well. So.
But Parasite also, I'm pretty sure, has a dubbed version.
Most people didn't see the dub. I didn't see the dub version.
Most people didn't. People who care about like movies as they should be seen don't. But like people who are all like, "Oh, foreign movies. I don't want to read things." They're gonna look at this and go, "Yeah, I'm not gonna watch that."
This might be the thing that people like do that with, though. Like, "Oh, this is Star Wars. Like, I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna read if I have to."
Because fucking nobody cares about anything until Star Wars is involved.
But this looks neat because it's different.
It looks neat. It looks interesting. It looks different. But chill the fuck out.
This could be terrible. We don't know.
It could be terrible. But you know what? Star Wars fans are gonna love it. Anime fans are gonna love it. So whatever.
I don't think that's true at all. I think if anything, anime fans are going to be the hardest to please. They're going to be like, "This is awful."
No, anime fans are some of the like pussiest fucking people I've ever seen. Every time an anime comes out, I always hear anime fans just be like, "Oh, it's amazing. It's great. Oh, it's so fucking good." Every single fucking anime that's ever been produced is like amazing. So it's like they're gonna love this. So it's largely irrelevant. I don't care. I told you this. I don't care if Star Wars fans like this. I don't care if anime fans like this. I care about people who don't like either of those things watching this and going, "This is fucking cool." And that's when I'll probably check it out.
That's when you'll be like, "All right, like I'll watch it."
Because that's when fans of like the MCU like an MCU movie. That's not a surprise. Like, yeah, it's MCU stuff. But when someone who's like, "Oh, fuck all of these superhero things," and then they watch a movie and they go, "That's actually pretty fucking cool," that's when you're like, "Oh, this must be like a good thing.
This must be a good movie."
And that's kind of all I care about now. I don't really give a shit about MCU fans' opinions on things because they're gonna like it.
But I'm intrigued. Like I said, I have no idea what the actual story is or anything.
I don't either. It looks neat though. It looks cool.
It does. And this could have some really cool action in it. I feel like
it probably will.
That's one of the things that I think a lot of people are gonna be like, "All right, like let's get some good action in here," because you got
probably will.
Got the whole style going on. The lightsabers are freaking nuts, though.
Sure. I wish can we just is there one goddamn Star Wars story that we can have without a lightsaber?
Hey, damn it. If this is an anthology thing and it actually is truly just about stories, there might be an episode where there's no lightsabers. You never know.
I fucking hope so.
One story with no lightsabers.
I'll watch that one thing. And then that's it.
And then my last piece of Star Wars news is that they finally finished filming Kenobi. So we could be getting a trailer sometime soon for that. So
isn't that coming out next year?
Yeah. I think summer.
I'm sure we're a little while off before we get a trailer.
I don't know. Star Wars likes to put their trailers out super early.
I mean, we might get like a teaser, just being like, "Oh, hey, Ewan McGregor's back, and he's like old, and he's in a cave," and then that's it.
They'll show Ewan McGregor and they'll show Hayden Christensen, and they'll be like, "Look at this."
I don't know if they'll show him. They'll definitely put in the Darth Vader like breathing at the end, like they like to do in everything. But I think they'll show off Ewan McGregor, and he's just like chilling in a cave with his hood up, and he's like, "I'm Obi-Wan," and then that's it.
I hope he looks rough.
He's gonna look like how he looks.
No, make him look rough. Show me why he aged 60 years in 2020.
He aged that way because George Lucas is a moron.
So
he doesn't understand his own continuity.
Show me that. I mean, I understand you've been living in the desert for 20 years. I'm sure you look older than what you should.
Yeah, you probably would. I don't need that explained. Like, I largely don't care because I treat the prequels as a different thing anyway. So like, it doesn't matter. We don't need everything explained in Star Wars. Like, it's fine.
What is canon to you?
What's canon to me is Clone Wars and the original trilogy.
Not the Mandalorian. That's not canon. All right, fair enough.
For me, that's canon because it works. It's the good stuff. So it's the stuff that I like. So that's what's canon.
Fair enough. I'm surprised you even threw Clone Wars in there.
I mean, I haven't seen all of Clone Wars yet, but the stuff that I watched in Clone Wars was really good. So I'm considering it canon. Somebody who actually cares about Star Wars made it. That's why. Yeah. So it'd be nice to have more people who care about Star Wars making Star Wars stuff. What do you have any more Star Wars news? Boba Fett's ship gets a new name. It's not Slave One. This was a huge thing. I remember when they were like, "Oh, we're not going to call it Slave One anymore because that's offensive," and everyone like lost their mind. And is it though? It's not. It's he's got the slave in the title. It's like, all right, cool. Slavery was a thing, so we can't just get rid of a word. We can't say that anymore because it's offensive. It's become the new S word. Yeah, you're gonna have to say S word now. And you can't say slave anymore. Even though Slave One is like that's a dope fucking name for a spaceship. Right. Like the Slave One. But his new ship name is called Fire Spray. What the fuck? What? Fire Spray. Why? You go from Slave One to Fire Spray. That sounds like a Powerpuff Girls name. No. Fire Spray. Like that sounds like a deodorant. Like that sounds like a Pokemon. Like what do you? Fire Spray. I choose you. Like what the fuck? Who greenlit this? Disney. There had to have been more than one person that was like, that's a cool name.
and they deserve to get fired.
I mean, we're in the Disney Star Wars area. Of course, it's a terrible fucking name. Like, they couldn't come up with something cool like Slave One. Like,
you didn't have to just keep it the same. You didn't need to rename it.
But that's offensive.
It's not offensive at all.
Because slavery, even though there have been slaves of every race and gender and creed ever, but we gotta get rid of it because black slaves existed at one point. Even though there's slavery in Star Wars, so it will kind of make sense for it to be called Slave One anyway.
But like, we can't just erase slavery from history. It happened.
People will try,
and it still probably happens to this day.
There's slaves still. It's not. It hasn't gone away.
Yeah. So like,
but it's offensive.
Whatever.
It's offensive.
Star Wars, man. They don't know what they're doing.
This is why I fucking hate Star Wars.
Are you ready to move on to some Marvel? You got more Star Wars to throw?
Marvel.
I got a lot of Marvel news.
Quite a bit. This has been a big fucking couple weeks for Marvel news.
It has been. You wanna start? Or you want me to start?
Go ahead.
All right. Let's just get the Spider-Man shit out of the way because there's always fucking Spider-Man news every week.
I saw. I don't know if this is what you're gonna talk about, but I saw Kevin Feige like talk about the trailer and it made
me
funny.
It is. It's on my list, so I'll leave it there. But this is. I don't know if you've heard this because I haven't heard you talk about this or anything. But Disney and Sony have started talking again about selling Spider-Man. So could be
selling Spider-Man.
Yeah, Sony's selling Spider-Man back to Disney. So not back to Disney. Selling to Disney.
That will never, ever happen.
The last time this was negotiated was when Spider-Man lost the rights in MCU. And Sony straight up was like, I want $10 billion for Spider-Man. That was the last time this was heard about.
Yeah.
And then Disney was like, fuck you. We're not paying $10 billion.
This will never happen because that's all Sony has is Spider-Man. And without that, they're going to want a huge chunk of change for Spider-Man.
Well, the negotiations are back up. That doesn't mean that it's going to happen. But
it doesn't mean it's going to happen. I'm sure Disney's like, yo, can we just fucking, like, we're tired of this shit. Just give us the character. And they're like, no, give us $10 billion and we'll give you the character. And they're like, fuck you. We're not giving you $10 billion.
I've thought about it. Does $10 billion, is that not worth it, though? I mean, think about it.
Well, I mean, it depends on what you're spending it on. Like, how big of a character is Spider-Man? Like, if like, what out of this home trilogy, the Homecoming, Far From Home, and this new one that's coming out, how much collectively have those movies made?
Well, okay, we don't know about 3 yet, but the first 2, just from box office, they've made about $2 billion.
$2 billion.
But toy sales for Spider-Man are insane.
Well, but Sony doesn't.
I know Disney doesn't
with the marketing stuff anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say Disney owns the toy sales to it, so they're already getting a big chunk of change from that. So they'd only be getting the box office stuff basically, and they've made about $2 billion off 2 movies. The third one, if pandemic stuff doesn't hinder it and everything, all the rumors and stuff are true in it, it could maybe make $2 billion, maybe 1.5, but I don't know.
Like it all really just depends on how much.
This is definitely a long term investment. $10
billion is fair, to be honest, for Spider-Man.
Is it though? They paid
$10 billion.
They paid what, 5, 6, 7 billion for Star Wars, and that's fucking Star Wars. That's not one character.
Yeah, and look at what happened with Star Wars. It's worth fucking nothing now.
It's not worth nothing.
Spider-Man is a huge character. People fucking love Spider-Man. $10 billion, I think, is plenty.
And you got to think you're also getting all of his villains. You're getting
and his entire catalog of things. I think Marvel still owns like the cartoons and stuff. I think the only thing they don't own is the movies. Right?
They don't own any live action rights. So if they wanted to make a live action show, they couldn't, but they can make an animated show.
Okay. So I mean, for $10 billion for live action Spider-Man, I think that's honestly kind of more than enough. I think it's definitely a long-term investment because if you plan on making 5, 6 more Spider-Man movies, it'll pay for itself.
It'll pay for itself.
Yeah.
So, and then if you're gonna do the Sony route and do like a Venom movie or something, you can
spin-offs and everything. Yeah,
you can do that too. So, I don't know. Plus, I think they're also thinking about their own like theme parks and stuff because I know they want like a Spider-Man theme park thing. They can't do that for some reason. They have him on Avengers Campus, but they can't do his own thing for some reason. I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
They're thinking about all that too. Like, oh yeah, we could do this, this, and this. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna say that they're probably gonna throw an offer of like $6 billion and try to lowball them and see what happens. See how Sony's feeling about it.
I hope Sony is staunch with 10 billion. I hope I hope Marvel just keeps throwing out like different prices and they're like, nope, 10 billion.
10 billion. That's where we're going.
You want Spider-Man? Give us $10 billion and we'll give you Spider-Man.
Maybe negotiations have come back because Sony's tanking. I don't know. I don't know what their market's like, but maybe Sony Pictures is tanking and they're like, we need some money. Like,
we need money now.
Like, should we sell Spider-Man type thing?
I don't know.
Because maybe they're thinking if we're tanking and we have to sell our company, we're going to lose Spider-Man anyways. So we might as well just sell Spider-Man.
I don't know. It could be that. It could be them trying to just get rid of this fucking character. They're going to hold on to this as long as they can, though. They're going to like hold on to the corpse of Spider-Man as long as they can.
Yeah.
Even if they're going to go down, they're going to go down with Spider-Man.
They're going to go down with the ship.
Yeah, they're going to be like, we're not going to sell Spider-Man. We're going to lose Spider-Man. We're not going to get rid of him. We're not going to let you have him. All right.
It's like either you're giving us a buttload of money, or we're dying with it.
We're dying with him.
Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Which I mean, I know everyone always is like, "Oh, just give the rights back to Marvel." I honestly think that if Marvel had the full rights, I honestly don't think it'd be that big of a difference. In movies, that like it wouldn't be that big of a.
The only thing I could see being different is that he would probably be in more stuff because because of contract things. But other than that, no. They may give him a Disney Plus show. I could see that too. Maybe.
I think a live action Spider-Man show would honestly be pretty fun.
It probably would, and they can't do it because of Sony's contract stuff. Yeah. But that's the only other thing I could see is that they they want to put him in Disney Plus shows because I don't think they can put him in Disney Plus shows.
Probably not. I would imagine not.
Because he's got that weird contract thing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But also the leverage, Tom Holland has some leverage on this too, kind of. Because when the deal broke last time, he was like, I'm not re-signing with Sony unless they're connected to the MCU.
Well, yeah, at this point, it's not like, it's not like the Andrew Garfield thing where nobody really liked Andrew Garfield. Like, there's quite a bit of people who like Tom Holland as Spider-Man. So he's got enough leverage to be like, look, I ain't coming back. And they're like, well, fuck, now no one's going to care about a new Spider-Man.
So Sony's just going to have to keep re-upping deals with Marvel. Yeah. So it's just like, well, you're stuck now, Sony. You can't really get out.
So it's like, you might as well just give him the rights. But honestly, I kind of don't really care all that much if Marvel gets the rights back. Because like I'm like the only person that's actually kind of looking forward to Morbius. Because it looks weird and interesting. And if Sony honestly kind of does their own shit, I'm fine with that. Like,
can they not make a deal where they just both own Spider-Man characters? Like, let Sony do their own Sony shit, and then let Marvel do their own.
I'm sure they could have some weird like sub deal where they could be like, hey, you can do whatever you want, we can do whatever you want.
I feel like that's what the Universal deal is with Hulk. Like, if Universal wanted to make a Hulk movie, they could, but Disney also owns Hulk rights too. I feel like now at this point, like,
probably.
I don't know though. I don't know. It's weird things. Weird stuff going on. I don't see Sony selling Spider-Man either.
Yeah. No, they're not going to sell it.
Unless Marvel comes out with like, I will give you $20 billion. They'll be like, fuck.
Kevin Feige's going to strut in, put his dick on the table and be like, 20 bill.
We'll pay more for Spider-Man than we did Fox. And that was like $70 billion. It's like, God damn.
That'd be crazy. Can you imagine? For one character and his whole like catalog, they spend more on that fucker than they did on an entire movie studio.
There's no way because Sony Pictures is worth less than $70 billion.
What if they just buy Sony Studios? That's the solution. Just buy them out.
They'd be spending a lot more though because it's worth like $30 billion compared to $10 billion. So
sure, but then you also would get not only Spider-Man but their whole catalog of movies,
which is Jumanji. Like that's about it.
And PlayStation.
No,
their electronic stuff.
No, you wouldn't get that. I'm talking about.
I mean, if they just buy the movie stuff, but I'm saying buy the whole company.
They would. It would be worth way more than $70 billion.
Disney's got the money.
They don't need that. That's not their forte.
But hey, you want Spider-Man?
Also, I don't think shareholders would agree to that because monopolies or whatever.
Well, then deal with it. They with Sony owning Spider-Man.
Honestly, just have Apple buy Sony Pictures. That's what they've been talking about for years.
Yeah, I think Apple's still trying to, because I got a free trial of Apple TV just because I wanted to check out what was on there. There's fucking nothing on Apple Plus or whatever. There's like 4 shows and there's like a couple movies and like that's it. And I'm like, this is not worth it at all.
That's why they need to buy Sony. Get some more.
I'm sure they're like, please, Sony, let us give you money.
Let us buy your company, and we can put Baby Driver on Apple Plus.
Yeah, and Sony's like, no, we want Spider-Man.
I feel like they make all their decisions about their company from Spider-Man. They're like, do we get to keep Spider-Man?
Apple offered us $100 billion. Like, should we take it? And they're like,
what about Spider-Man?
What about Spider-Man? Fuck.
They're clinging on to like that 2001 era. Like, we got Spider-Man. Like,
well, Spider-Man's the only thing that makes them money.
That's true. That's true.
Without Spider-Man, they're fucked.
At least their movie studio, like their electronics.
Yeah, the electronic stuff is fine. That's doing fine.
Yeah.
But the movie studio is hurting.
Yeah. Yep. Going into more Spider-Man news. This is more Venom news and Spider-Man news.
I think I know what this is.
But Tom Hardy is already planning Venom 3 after
I heard about this, yeah.
After studio was very pleased with Venom 2. I'm like, we're talking about Sony here.
That doesn't mean fucking anything.
I was gonna say they don't know what the fuck they're talking about with anything. So
that doesn't mean anything. I have faith in Venom 2 because Andy Serkis, like, I haven't seen any of the movies he's directed, but I hope he's like a competent director. I have a feeling he probably will be.
I just hope Woody Harrelson's nuts in it, and that will make me happy.
That would be really fun.
Just have him like eating a pickle and shit like that he did in 2012. I don't fucking care. Like,
and make a reference to 2012.
You don't need to make a reference to 2012, but
that'd be a very specific. Like, only you would understand that.
He's just sitting there. He's eating a pickle. I'm like, yes, 2012.
Like, this is the best movie ever.
That's the only scene I like in that movie. It just
I mean, yeah, the movie's a bunch of garbage.
It's him in the woods just eating a pickle, and I swear they didn't film it intentionally. He was just out on his break.
Andy Serkis. Woody Harrelson probably doesn't even know he's in that movie.
He was on a break or something on set, and he's just eating a pickle, and they was like, keep that in the movie.
It's just him in his day-to-day, and they filmed him.
But that's all I want from Venom 2.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna get a trilogy of these fucking things, and then they're gonna try. Sony's gonna try desperately to cross this over with MCU stuff.
That, or if that fails, they're just gonna cross it over with Morbius and all their other stuff, which they're already doing.
Yeah, they're already planning on doing that stuff anyway, which is like, all right, cool. But
yeah. But more Spider-Man stuff. Let's see. I got this is what you were talking about earlier. Kevin Feige did like a little interview or whatever. First of all, I felt so bad for him because
Kevin Feige?
Yeah, because he agreed to go to this interview to talk about. Speaking of which, I've been saying Shang-Chi. It's Shang-Chi.
I fucking said that in one of the episodes.
I know, and I just apparently didn't listen.
You're like, oh, fuck you. I'm not cultured. Fuck Chinese people.
So he went on there to be talking about Shang-Chi, and they didn't ask him a single question about that.
Oh, that's fucking Marvel fans for you.
And he was like visibly like really.
That's like the same thing. I made a joke about it on Snapchat when I saw Hugh Jackman doing interviews for Reminiscence, and like every single fucking time, all these dumb fucking interviewers are like, "Yeah, this movie's cool and everything, but what about Wolverine?" Like, I was like, "Talk about this fucking movie." Like, this is what people do now.
But yeah, the guy was asking him about like Secret Wars and all this
about
stuff.
Shang-Chi.
Like that's what he was there for. And he literally said, he's like, I'm surprised people are still asking me for where I'm at now in my like position at Marvel. People are still asking me about future things after all the stuff I've made. We're not talking about current things.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that's also kind of Marvel Studios' fault for announcing these things 10 years out.
That's true.
If you want people to talk about the current thing, just announce these things as they come out.
That's true.
Because if you announce 15,000 things, of course people are going to go, hey, what about this thing? What's this thing going to be like? So to be fair, that's kind of their fault too.
But if you agree to go on an interview for a movie, they should ask questions about that movie.
Well, yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. And usually they do. Most studios and stuff, when they like fly these people in to like do these interviews and stuff, they usually have like certain stipulations like, hey, don't talk about other stuff. You know, you're here to market the movie and like blah, blah. I guess Marvel just doesn't care. And they're just like, hey, you can tell us anything.
This was a video call, so I'm sure they're like, we didn't spend a lot of money on this to fly anybody anywhere. So, but the guy asked, he's like, so when are we getting the Spider-Man trailer? And Kevin Feige was like, well, for one, I don't know why everybody keeps asking about this movie. And I'm just like, what do you mean, Kevin?
Yeah, come on, Kevin. Have you not been on the internet for the last year?
But he said, and I quote, the trailer will come out before the movie. I'm like, thanks. That
was funny.
Kevin.
That was Kevin Feige saying fuck you in like a really nice way. He was just like, shut up, it's coming. Wait.
But he said he was like, I don't feel like this movie's more secretive than any other movie. Like, I don't know why you guys are freaking out about it. And I'm like, I don't feel like that's true at all. But
well, I mean, he's gonna say that. He's not gonna be like, "Oh, this is the biggest goddamn thing ever," and he's gonna downplay it. He's not gonna act like this is a huge thing.
Sure, but I laughed when he was like, "It's gonna come out before the movie." Like, like thanks, Kevin.
That's funny.
God damn it. But apparently, we have a very accurate source that says the trailer is coming out during Comic-Con, which I think is this coming week. Like, anyways, but it's not gonna be released to the public, which is stupid.
Fuck it. There'll be a leaked version somewhere.
Oh yeah, somebody with that flip phone camera is going to go.
It'll be shot on a potato. And
even if there's not leaked footage, somebody's going to be there and they're going to blab about it on the internet.
Yeah, like, be like, I saw it and it was fucking Tobey Maguire was in it and he's really fat and chubby.
That they're going to be like, I saw it, it was terrible. Tobey Maguire wasn't in it. And
no one is going to say anything negative about this trailer
if Tobey and Andrew aren't in the trailer, they're going to be like, this is awful. Like, it was bad.
I mean, it's true. If they're not in it, then this is the worst fucking thing I've ever seen. But if they're in it, then it's the best.
I can totally see people hating it, and then you watch the trailer, and Tobey and Andrew are in it, and it's just about like the sequel to Far From Home or whatever, and you're just like, this is amazing. Like he's on the run.
That's what I want. I want a Man on the Run Spider-Man story because that sounds awesome.
I saw Charlie Cox in the trailer. It was fucking awesome.
I would love to sit in the theater and watch like. Seeing No Way Home and it be like the Fugitive-esque where it's like Spider-Man on the run and everyone's pissed. I would love.
And you're sitting there like, yes,
fucking A. This is what I wanted.
Got what I wanted.
Man, I hope that happens now. I hope all of you fucking butthurt Spider-Man fans are upset and pissed off by this movie because I will enjoy it.
And then my last piece of Spider-Man news, not Marvel news. I've got plenty more Marvel news. William Dafoe was interviewed recently, and again, they didn't ask about his fucking movie that he agreed to talk about. They were asking him about Spider-Man shit.
I'd be so annoyed by that. Like, look, I did that movie 20 years ago. I know no one else cares about anything I ever do ever. But can we just talk about this fucking movie that I just did? I want people to see it so I get paid.
Especially Willem Dafoe. I feel like he's like a classy guy. He's like, I want to talk about my little indie movies.
Been in a fuck ton of movies, and no one cares about any of them because it's not Spider-Man.
or Aquaman. I remember when Aquaman was coming out.
Or Aquaman. Were they still asking you questions about Spider-Man in Aquaman?
I don't know, but the guy basically asked, he's like, Are you in No Way Home? And he's William Dafoe being William Dafoe kind of gave this like fuck you kind of answer. He was like, look, I got a lot of shit going on right now. And I feel like when I talk about a movie is when it comes out. That's what I'm going to talk about.
I don't understand these. I don't know if these interviewers are just doing this for like clickbait or what. If they legitimately think just going, hey, are you in this movie? If they legitimately think an actor's going to go, oh yeah, they're morons.
For a movie like Spider-Man 3,
as secretive as like it has been, do you honestly think they're going to just say all of this bullshit?
Because I'm sure they signed a NDA. Like I'm sure they can't talk about it.
Why do you think just ask? Hey, are you in this? Yeah. Why do you think it's just going to be like that?
Oh, you asked me. Yes, I'm going to tell you.
Oh, this one person.
No one else has ever asked me.
Like, no, they're gonna, even if he is in the movie, he can't tell you he's in the movie.
Yeah.
Have you people not fucking learned how this industry works?
Maybe they just think like, oh, maybe he'll slip. Like maybe this time.
No, he won't, because Marvel, whenever somebody mentions a Marvel thing in an interview, a fucking red dot ends up on their chest.
Did you hear about the Owen Wilson thing?
That he knows like nothing about Marvel or whatever.
No, not that. But people were asking him questions about Loki, and he accidentally let it slip that he had a mustache in Loki, and he got a text from some anonymous person that said "strike one." He had no idea who it was.
That happened? He said that?
He said that in an interview.
That's
he was like, I like to think it was Kevin Feige himself.
That's
but
funny.
I don't know.
I feel like if that did, I don't think that happened, but I feel like if it did happen, it probably was just Kevin Feige fucking with him.
Imagine if that did happen. Like you leave an interview and you check your phone and it says strike one. You're like, wait, what? Like,
what the fuck did I do? Strike one, mustache.
Henry Cavill, fucker. We'll shave it off.
Owen Wilson wouldn't understand that either because he doesn't know superheroes. He'd be like, Henry Cavill, what? Is he in this?
So yeah, that was. I thought that was funny. That wasn't in my news, but since you brought it up, I thought it was funny.
That's pretty fun.
What do we want to talk about next?
I have some Spider-Man news.
Okay, you go for it.
Well, it's technically Venom news, but apparently J.K. Simmons is going to be in Venom 2.
Yeah, I didn't think that was worthy enough to put in my news thing, but if you want to put it in there, you go ahead.
I mean, he's in it, and everyone's going to try their fucking hardest to connect this to the MCU now.
What if he's got his Raimi like look going? Like
that would be cool, or just give him a new look and say it's a part of the Amazing Universe.
It could be. Didn't they want like Ice Cube for the Amazing Universe or something?
No, that was a fan.
Oh,
I don't think that was ever official.
Oh, I do remember that being
because I know fans were like, "Oh, Ice Cube would be perfect," and he would be a fun Jameson.
Yeah, he would. Yeah.
I think Terry Crews could have been a fun Jameson too.
Nobody would be as good as J.K. Simmons. No one.
No. It's but I'm tired of these fucking people just being like, "Oh, he was great in this role, so he just has to always play this role." It's like, no, I'm
not saying nobody else can
new
play.
People coming in and like playing these things.
I'm not saying no one else can play J. Jonah Jameson, but I don't think anybody will be ever as good as J.
No, they probably won't. He nailed it.
Yeah, he did. He's the most comic accurate character probably ever.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, probably.
But yeah. I don't know how much he's going to be in it. It might be like Far From Home, where it's like, whatever, he's just in the background.
Yeah, a quick little thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Venom 2 is such a mystery to me. Like, not about what it's going to be about, because I know it's going to be about Carnage and Venom, but like, is it going to be good? Like, that's my mystery for that movie.
I hope it's good.
I hope it is too.
I hope it's either really good or it's so bad that it's fun. Because the first movie wasn't fun bad. It was just cringy bad.
The only clip have you seen any clips from Venom 2?
I saw the first teaser they put out.
There was one clip and it had the same humor from the first one. I'm like, God, don't do this.
No.
Because it was just like it was him meeting Carnage or something. Or no. It was him. There was like a bunch of cops or something, and they were getting ready to shoot him. And he was just like, and he like turned back into Eddie Brock, and Venom was scared for some reason. I don't know what the fuck was going on where he was scared. And they were like bickering in their head, like, you need to come out like right now. You need to do this right now. And Venom's like, no, I'm not going to do it. No. He's like, I'll let you eat anyone you want. And he's like, really? And he's like, yeah. And then he comes out and he starts fighting or whatever. I'm like,
Is Venom an idiot? Does he not know that he just like eats people? Like, you ate cops in the first movie.
Maybe
you attempted to, but
maybe Eddie Brock has toned him down. Like, you can't eat just people. Like, you gotta.
See, here's the thing: if I was Venom, if I was a stupid little parasite, I'd be like, "Look, Eddie, I'm gonna eat whatever I want
because I'm
an alien. And I can kill you
if I wanted to,
whatever I want. So fuck you. I'm gonna eat people. I ate a dude in a supermarket in the last movie, and you were totally fine with that.
And you said he was a turd in the wind.
And you said, you eat his fucking arms like a turd in the wind and roll him down the street.
What is stupid? I still hate that fucking
That's
line.
from the comics, but
I don't care. Not everything in the comics is fucking golden. Like,
yeah, it's terrible. It's a terrible line.
God damn.
That movie's terrible. Anybody who likes that movie's a moron.
I like Upgrade. That's a good Venom movie.
That's the only Venom movie I care about.
Any more Spider-Man news for you? Or...
I think that's all the Spider-Man news. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the Hugh Jackman news?
Is there Hugh Jackman news?
There is Hugh Jackman. Remember, I said spoilers.
The fuck is it?
What do you think it is?
People want him as Wolverine?
No. Well, I mean, that's not news.
Fuck,
so.
what is it?
It was in. I don't know if it was in the interview for his new movie or not. I don't remember, but he was in an interview, And people were asking about fucking Wolverine. He's like, God damn it. Like, leave me the fuck alone.
We had 20 years of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. If you weren't satisfied, that's your fucking fault.
Hugh Jackman said never again. Like, I'm not ever coming back.
Good. Like, I'm glad he said that. Yes, that's totally fine. Let's get someone new. We had 2 decades of Hugh Jackman as this fucking character. Let him do his weird artsy fartsy movies and do his weird stage play shit and more musicals.
But I think he said, and I quote, like, it's not on the table type thing. Like,
yeah.
So
that's fine. Everyone, but even if they like announce tomorrow that like, oh, Daniel Radcliffe's gonna be the new Wolverine, people are still gonna ask Hugh Jackman, like, hey, you coming back?
Multiverse, man, it's still there. You can come back.
It's like, fuck off. I'm making Greatest Showman 2, all right? Shit.
I'm making Reminiscence. Like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Pulling right off that, we can talk about some Ryan Reynolds stuff, I guess.
Oh,
they're kind of connected. Ryan Reynolds says there's a 70% chance Deadpool 3 starts shooting at the end of this year.
Okay.
That probably means that it won't. If it's not 100%, it probably means that it won't.
I have no idea. I have a feeling when they did that Korg thing, I have a feeling they shot a whole lot more with that.
You think so?
Yeah, because that was like a whole production. They're not just going to do this one thing.
Maybe.
I have a feeling they got the suit out of storage and they like did all this shit. I feel like they did a little bit more with that. Maybe not for the movie, but I'm sure for like DVD extras or something, they probably did some weird shit.
I think they're shooting for a 2023 release. So.
Oh my god. Why?
What do you mean?
Deadpool 1 shot for like 6 months and it came out like the same year because it was a small little movie. Why is this taking 2 years to come out?
Technically, if it starts shooting in like November, December, it's only going to take like a year. So
why is it going to take a year?
I don't know. Because Marvel has a lot of shit they got going on.
Just make it, put it out.
I don't know.
This is Deadpool. This is its own thing.
All I know is that Ryan Reynolds is still working on the script, so it's not like completely done yet ready to shoot.
Oh, hurry up, Ryan. I know you own like 2 businesses, but fuck those. I want Deadpool 3. Fucker.
You fucker.
Speaking of Deadpool 3, there's a rumor going around that it's going to be a big MCU team-up movie.
I've heard that rumor, but I don't think it's true.
Which I don't want.
I don't think it's true. I think this is somebody writing articles, like trying to like hype up buzz around something. I don't think that's true.
I don't know. I can believe it. I don't know if it's true. I don't want it to be true, but I could believe that Disney's like, hey, you got to put like Iron Man in this fucking thing.
I don't think that's what it is.
I hope not.
I mean, I don't know because I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but if I had to guess, it's not that.
I hope not.
What are you gonna do if it is?
I'm gonna walk out.
You will not walk out.
I'll stay until the credits, and then I'll walk out, and I won't watch the after credit scene.
You're like, I'm not watching the damn after credit scene. What if it's amazing?
I don't give a shit.
What if it's
the
like,
movie's amazing?
What if it's Deadpool kills the MCU or something?
Everyone wants that. I like why?
I don't know, but I'm just saying, what if that's what it is?
Cool. I don't want that. I don't want every comic because the thing that was great about the first Deadpool movie was that they weren't really like adapting a set Deadpool story. It was kind of like a hodgepodge of different things, and they kind of made their own little Deadpool. Because that Deadpool isn't 100% comic book Deadpool. It's kind of like a mix of comic book Deadpool and like Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds shit. Like it's kind of its own thing, and this Deadpool universe is kind of its own little weird sub-universe in the X-Men universe. So like I kind of just want them to take this character and just say, hey, there's this weird movie. Like you just made a weird thing. I don't want like a set thing adapted with this character. And people only want Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe so they can see Deadpool kill Iron Man and Spider-Man and all that stuff. They don't want it because the story's great. They want it because they want to see all these MCU characters die. That's fun
because the story's great.
It really isn't though.
But that's what I want is a good story.
I want a good story. I also don't want 50 million characters in a Deadpool movie.
I don't either. I'm completely fine with Deadpool being his own thing. You can like make references to things. That's fine.
I want an entire movie of Deadpool and Blind Owl just shitting on each other.
They brought Stick in. That's the big crossover.
That would be That'd be fun. I'd love to see Stick just bicker with Deadpool.
The only character I could see working with Deadpool that's like, I don't even know if he's in the current MCU, but he might be, is Punisher. It's the only one. It's the only one I could see working with Deadpool because they both just.
I could see that because Frank Castle would be the straight man.
Yeah.
And then Deadpool would be like, "Oh, poop butts, blah, blah, blah." And then Frank Castle would be like, "Can I just fucking murder you right now?"
He probably would try. He'd probably shoot him in the head.
That if there's an entire like running gag throughout the movie where the Punisher just like shoots Deadpool in the brain and he just like keeps regrowing and he's just like, "Fuck." Make that a thing, Marvel.
That'd be the perfect way to put John Berthel back at the MCU.
Make it a buddy cop comedy where like one of them doesn't even want to be involved with Deadpool, but Deadpool just keeps showing up and just annoying him. Like that, fuck, man. Do that. Make it like Dumb and Dumber.
It'd be awesome. I want that.
This movie's gonna be huge, man. It's gonna be a summer blockbuster.
I don't know. I have faith that Kevin Feige kind of knows what he's doing, and like it's like okay, like Deadpool like needs to stay small, but I don't know.
I hope he does.
We'll see when the first trailer or something.
Because I want a small Deadpool movie.
We will see. What else? Oh, we can talk about Moon Knight. We had a leaked suit.
Moon Knight.
What'd you think about that suit? What'd you think about that suit?
I've heard a lot of people pooping on the suit. I think the suit looks fine. I think they're going to. I never judge the quality of suits before I actually see it like in motion, like doing shit, because a lot of times they do kind of touch up the suits a little bit in post. Like I remember when
CG to it and stuff.
Yeah, like I remember when Titans was coming out, and there was all these leaked like things of them and their suits, and everyone's like, "This looks fucking terrible." And then you watch the show, and it's like, "Oh, they fixed it."
They did the same. They did the same thing with Captain Marvel. Remember, people were pooping
because you're seeing a behind the scenes photo. It's not lit properly. It's not in motion. Like it's gonna look better. They're gonna make it look good in the show. They're not gonna let a shitty little fucking thing slip through the cracks like that. They're gonna beef it up a little bit in the show. But I kind of liked the design. I kind of liked how it had like mummy wrapping and shit on it, which I was like, that's kind of cool. Yeah, and that makes sense with a character like Moon Knight. It looks fucking scary.
It does.
Which I was like, that's scary. Fucking awesome. And I'm glad
moon symbol is cool looking. It doesn't look like the comic moon symbol, but it looks cool. I like it. It's like an indent, like rock thing.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
It looks cool. He's got the hood, which is dope.
Yeah, fucking A.
I like it.
I'm glad it's all white.
I was worried about like how white they were gonna make it. If it looks like that color,
it's not like bright white necessarily. It's not like how I wanted it, but it's white enough. It's like
I was worried if it was too white, like it was gonna be like, oh, this is like too much, like it's so bright compared to everything.
White. I want to look like an angel.
You looked heavenly, Oscar.
Heavenly, and then he throws a moon at you.
He throws like Thanos. He just throws a moon at you.
Oh, I meant his like moon things. I didn't mean a real moon.
I was talking about a real fucking moon.
Hey, if Moon Knight throws a moon at somebody, they better.
Maybe in his dreams he does that. Like
I think when he throws little moon things, he thinks he's throwing a moon at you because he's a fucking lunatic. But in reality, he's just like throwing little moon things.
He's throwing little moons, like yelling, "I'm Batman" in his head, and like
I'm Batman. But he's not joking about it like Deadpool. He thinks he's Batman.
Dude, I saw somebody who had no idea who Moon Knight was, and they saw this leaked suit, and they were like, "It's just Marvel Batman." I'm like, what the fuck?
Fucking morons. It's like the Eternals trailer that came out, and one of the characters shoots laser beams out of his eyes. So they're like, oh, he's gonna be Superman. He's like Marvel Superman. I'm like, you fucking idiots.
I saw saying that people were gonna say he was gonna be Homelander. I'm like, what the fuck?
I mean, I guess that makes sense because like people don't know Moon Knight. So I mean, they see a character who's in a cape and he's like dark and mysterious. Oh, he's Batman. I guess, but it's like not every character is just Batman. I like Moon Knight because he's not Batman. He's kind of what Batman would be if Batman was a real person. He's fucking crazy, and he's terrifying because he's crazy.
Hey, I hope they go full balls to the walls crazy with it.
I hope so too. I want a weird fucking show.
I think Oscar Isaac could nail it too.
I'm not worried about Oscar Isaac. Oscar Isaac's going to be great. I'm worried about the rest of the show.
We will see. We will see.
We shall see.
Got some Rock news.
Rock. Like Dwayne Johnson Rock?
Yeah, Dwayne Johnson Rock. He said he flirted ideas with Kevin Feige about joining the MCU. I don't know what
flirted with Kevin Feige?
I don't know what that means, but apparently, yeah, he flirted with Kevin Feige.
He's already Black Adam.
That's not enough because I'm sure he knows that's not going to last.
Rock, you cocksucker. You've been hyping up Black Adam for like a decade. You finally get the chance to play the character, and now you're like, no, I won't jump ship. You get one character.
One.
All right? Be grateful.
Only J.K. Simmons can be in 2 universes.
And he's not even like a big character. He's not leading those movies. He's a side character.
So yeah,
Rock, you get one fucking character.
One chance.
Okay.
And you picked Black Adam. It's
you
your
picked
fault.
Black Adam. That's your goddamn fault.
What if he's trying to be like, I want to be the Thing? Like, I want.
That's too obvious.
I know,
but he's not that. Everyone's like, oh, the Rock's the Thing, well, because he's big. Even if he's the Thing, he's gonna be CG. So it doesn't matter who plays him.
No, they're just gonna paint him orange. That's all it's gonna
be hilarious. They wouldn't do that.
Would
be hilarious.
But that would be hilarious. He could be like in Thor Ragnarok, like the cosplay version of the Thing. Like he's a guy who painted himself.
Oh, like Matt Damon and Thor Ragnarok, where he's like acting like that. That could be fun. I'd be okay with that. Like a fun little gag like that. That'd be fine.
Like that'd be pretty fun.
If The Rock was in the MCU, I'd want him to play someone like MODOK or something, like an obscure character that like you wouldn't expect The Rock to play.
MODOK. Can't imagine his face as MODOK.
Don't make his face. Make him look like MODOK, and he just does the voice. I wasn't expecting his face to be a part of this.
Well, I was thinking you put his big head.
No, I just get MODOK, and then he just does the voice.
I don't know. Make him Galactus. There you go.
Sure.
Galactus doesn't really speak, so he'd just be menacing.
I am the Rock. I'm gonna eat you.
Gonna eat you.
They should get Kevin Hart as MODOK. Fuck.
Oh my god.
He's got the little legs.
I could picture his annoying voice too. Yeah.
I'm short.
I could totally imagine.
He'd be perfect.
Let's see. I got Idris Elba news. We got all the news.
Idris Elba again?
Yeah, Idris Elba again. This is the Idris Elba podcast now. Let's go.
The Idris cast.
He came out and he was in an interview for some reason, and he said he was open to returning to the MCU for some fucking reason.
You talked all this shit about the MCU. You're done. They killed you for a reason. Fuck you. You're done.
Wait, just fuck you. Like
fuck you. You said you didn't want to do this shit no more.
I don't know. Maybe they're talking about like doing something in the past, and they're like, "Oh,
doesn't matter. You're a boring character anyway." And fuck you. You're done.
You're done. You wanted to die. You did.
You're like, I want to be more.
Did something happen? Did like he crack or something? Like
he got abducted by aliens and replaced with a fucking lunatic.
The Illuminati got him.
Yeah. He honestly feels like two different people.
Like a couple, like when Infinity War was coming out, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't want to be."
Yeah, it wasn't even that long ago.
Yeah,
it was like 4 years ago.
It was. I don't want to be part of the MCU anymore. I want to do more.
And then I guess maybe he couldn't get more serious stuff, so he's like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna take whatever."
Maybe he was like, "I don't want to be James Bond, but no one else was to hire me for anything else." So.
That's such a dumb fucking thing. I don't want to be fucking James at one of the most iconic fucking movie.
I think he just didn't want to get tied into another big deal.
Be one movie.
I think that's what it was.
Just make it. I'll do it for one movie.
He can be like a Joaquin Phoenix with Joker. Be like,
yeah, just be like, cool. I'll do it. I want one movie, and I'm not gonna come back for a whole franchise. I'll do one movie, and then that's it. And then if that movie does well, and I want to come back, I can come back.
He should be in the next Mission Impossible. He'd be fucking awesome.
The next Mission Impossible?
Yeah.
Like Tom Cruise? Or just in the movie?
No, in the movie. He should just be in the movie.
Oh, he'd be a fucking awesome villain.
Yeah. Him and Henry Cavill. Boom.
Henry Cavill's not in any of these things because he died.
But they could bring him back or something.
Don't bring him back. He died.
You make Idris Elba the villain, though. That'd be fucking dope.
That'd be fucking cool. Hell yeah.
He can say he's Black Superman again.
I'm Black Superman. You're like, oh shit, is this the Hobbs and Shaw again? Connected?
Crossover.
Shit.
No, Tom Cruise would never cross over with fucking Fast and Furious.
No, Tom Cruise thinks he's making high art.
He does think he's making high art. That's why he jumped out of an airplane.
Yeah. It's like, no, your movie's kind of on the same level. It's just a different type of movie. Like, it's still like weird nonsense, but
better movie. I'd much rather watch Mission Impossible.
Oh yeah. But you're not making art over here, all right?
No, you're not making like The Godfather or something.
Yeah, not even fucking close.
I got two more things. How much do you have?
1, 2, 2.
2. Oh, okay. Well, you hit me with yours. I'll save mine.
Ben Kingsley is apparently going to be in Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I think it's a cameo. I don't think he's like a very big part in it.
Fine.
But
That makes sense.
yeah, that's kind of dope though. He
I
might
want to see
die.
Trevor Slattery again.
He might die. Don't.
He could. I mean, that's fine. I don't.
I
He
could
doesn't need to,
totally
like,
see whoever the actual Ten Ring leader is pulling him up
the
and being
Mandarin.
like, I know, but whoever he is, but just like he's sitting on his little throne and he pulls him up and he just like cuts his head off or something.
You made a mockery of me.
And
then Trevor Slattery's like, "Ooh, boo, I'm goofy," and then he like shoots him in the dick.
Dead.
Ben Kingsley was really good in that movie, and everybody poops on that movie simply because the Mandarin wasn't in it. Y'all are morons. I mean, 3's good.
He was menacing when he was playing the Mandarin, and then he was also
fucking Ben Kingsley.
And then he was also funny when he was playing.
Yeah.
Fucking
and I like Trevor. I like that character. I like when like after he's already been revealed that he's like a full of shit. Like Aldrich Killian comes back and he's like, "What the fuck happened?" Like Iron Man came here and like wrecked everything. Like what happened? He's like, "At first I panicked, then I handled it." And he just cracks a beer and just starts drinking it. I'm like, that's hilarious.
It is hilarious. And also, who gives a shit about the Mandarin? Like, who the fuck cares?
Nobody, but people got to be outraged about something.
Who the fuck cares? It's not like the fucking Quicksilver twist where people cared about that.
That's a little different because Marvel made us think that was a specific character, and then it wasn't. They never once said like, "Oh, this is the real Mandarin." Mandarins, because they never even by casting Ben Kingsley, you're like, "Oh, they're doing something different with the Mandarin." Like, even if he was the Mandarin, it still wouldn't be the Mandarin from the comics. It would have been different.
Yeah.
With the Quicksilver thing, it was like, hey, it's this Quicksilver because he looks like this exact Quicksilver. No, he's got a dick name.
Same name, same look.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's a little different.
Whatever. But yeah, that's cool. That's cool they bring him back.
Yeah, it's fun.
I did learn that Tim Roth is actually playing Abomination, which is weird that he would come back.
I imagine that. He probably got paid to show up in a booth for a day and just growl into a microphone.
I think don't they use his facial performance? I thought they used his facial.
Maybe. Just strap a camera to his face for a couple days.
But I really didn't think he'd come back, honestly. So that was surprising to me.
I don't see why he wouldn't. He's not doing anything.
I just feel like he's a bigger actor.
He's not. You said that before. What has he done in the last decade?
I don't know.
Exactly. He's not doing anything.
I just feel like he is.
He was at a point, but he's just kind of not anymore.
Same thing with Edward Norton, man.
He's kind of chilling. Edward Norton shot himself in the foot.
Yeah, he did. I don't think he did literally, but figuratively.
I mean, he might have. If it called for him to shoot himself in the foot in a movie, he would.
Yes. Give me the gun.
Give me the gun.
I'll do it right now.
I have to shoot myself in the
foot.
Like now I don't. So in the script.
It's like now I don't want to give you the gun.
Okay, I brought my own.
I'm gonna shoot everybody else. Like,
oh my god. He just loses it on set.
Calm down, Ed.
My name's Edward, not Ed.
He's got that crazy like twitch in his eye.
You're like, yeah, we made a mistake.
We should not have casted this man.
That's fucking nuts. I would never want to work with someone like Edward Norton.
Yeah, because doesn't he like change the script like mid shooting?
Well, he's got that Tom Cruise thing where he tries to like warp the whole thing to be like about him and make him the main character.
I'm a genius.
But even with that, it's like method actors a lot of times, like, you need to chill.
I mean, that's why they didn't want him as Hulk anymore, because they're like, wait, look, like we want to be in charge. You're not in charge. We're not having you.
You're an actor.
You're not going to fuck up Avengers for us. Like,
yeah, we're not going to make the Avengers a Hulk movie.
Yeah, no, it's not happening. They literally said they hired Mark Ruffalo because he was more of a team player. I'm like, damn.
I mean, yeah, Mark Ruffalo will show up and do whatever you want. He's an actor. That's what actors are there for.
They are throwing shade at Edward Norton.
Oh yeah, they definitely were. They don't give a fuck.
What else you got, Marvel?
Ironheart apparently will appear in Black Panther 2.
Yeah, I heard about this. I heard also this is another like Ben Kingsley thing. It's not like a big thing. It's a cameo type thing. So.
Well, yeah, I imagine. I mean, that's cool. I guess. Why does every black character have to like appear in Black Panther?
I don't know. I'm surprised. To, like,
spin off of Black Panther.
I'm surprised they're like, oh, Don Cheadle's in it too.
Didn't they say that? Didn't they say that like Anthony Mackie was rumored to be in it or something?
They said Anthony Mackie was rumored to be in, not Don
Cheadle. Like again, every black MCU character has to be in Black Panther and then spin off into their own shit. Like, why?
I don't don't think Anthony Mackie's gonna be in it, but maybe.
I hope he's not. He has no business being in it.
Why would he go back to Wakanda? He has no reason to.
Yeah, there's no reason to.
So if anybody should be in it, should be Sebastian Stan. Like,
he makes sense because he has a connection with that. Oh, you're frozen. Apparently, Devin's power went out. A million things go wrong on this fucking podcast. Power went out?
God fucking damn. My computer takes so goddamn long.
You need a new computer.
To fucking reboot. Yeah, the power went out like for like a second, and my laptop can't power by itself. It has to be plugged in at all times. So it turned off the laptop. Because my laptop is garbage.
How long have you had that laptop?
6 years now.
Shit. It shouldn't be that fucking shitty.
I don't know why it's so shitty. Like, I guess because I use it so much for school, it has just like a lot of shit on it, and I don't know.
Possibly.
I don't know. I don't even remember what we were talking about.
We're talking about black people in Black Panther.
Oh yeah, too many black people in Black Panther. All right, move on.
I didn't say that. Devin said that.
That was a joke. I don't care who's in Black Panther as long as it's a good movie.
Sure, yeah.
I
just think it's funny that like every black MCU character has to come from Black Panther too.
You can put anybody in there.
Where's the white people at?
Where the aliens? Where they at?
Where's the green motherfuckers at?
Where's the Martians? Put them in there.
Put Gamora in there. She's technically black. She's played by a black lady.
It's true. And she is on Earth. Last time we saw her.
Apparently, yeah. She's just fucking around.
Could work out. So yeah. Is that the last year of Marvel news?
There's one more.
One more.
Secret Wars movie.
Yes.
Happening, apparently.
Nah, I mean, it's been thrown around. It's not officially happening. I think it's gonna happen. Like,
how the fuck do you do a Secret Wars movie?
It's called you end the MCU on it. I've always said it, and I still think that's the way.
No, but just as like a move, like that's got to be like a 4.5 hour long movie.
Or it's a 2-parter, like Infinity War Endgame.
I guess it could be. I mean, yeah, it probably will be. It'll probably be a 2-part thing.
You make it a show? I don't know.
I would make it a show over a movie. I think that would make a little bit more sense.
That'd be the most expensive show ever.
Well, I mean, yeah, but Marvel's blowing all this money on these fucking shows anyway.
Could you imagine that show's budget?
$400 billion.
That's a bit much.
I mean, we're getting a fucking Lord of the Rings show that's going to be $1 billion show. Like,
true. I mean, like, do that. I mean, if you think about it, it has to be at least $1 billion budget, because that's how much Infinity War Endgame was put together. So
I mean, the movie, if they split it up anyway, it's going to be that.
Yeah.
So it's like you might as well just make a show out of it.
Imagine that headline though: Avengers show, $1 billion budget. Like, that just sounds fucking nuts, right there.
It really does. That's the world we live in now.
It just sounds insane. The only issue with that is that you better hope whoever's paying for those Disney Plus subscriptions aren't sharing that fucking subscription. Otherwise, you're losing money on that from people watching it.
Well, I mean, the benefit of Marvel is that they have both movies and the TV shows on Disney Plus, so they are making money even if they are losing some.
Do you think they would make that something like that's a Premier Access thing? Like, you have to pay for it to even watch it? Like, something that big?
That'd be a little weird. I don't know.
I wouldn't make it as expensive as like $30 for the movies, but like, like $10 or something just to be able to watch it for like the first month or something.
I feel like people wouldn't like that. People would do it. They'd watch it because it's Marvel. But like, I feel like there'd be a big like backlash because we're already paying for Disney Plus, and then now you got to pay an extra $10 to watch a show when all the other shows on Disney Plus are like free, basically. Like, that's a little.
I don't know.
I don't fucking know. They might do that. They can do whatever they want with Disney Plus.
They're definitely going to make it a movie. I feel like they're not going to make a show, but
I mean, it makes sense.
That's again, you can't do something after that though. So like, I feel like, at least.
I mean, we say that about Endgame too, and they're continuing it after Endgame.
I felt like you could go on after Endgame. There's more things you could do. But after Secret Wars, if you do like the traditional Secret Wars, like, oh yeah, anybody can come back and just be in this. Like there's nothing after that you can do because you're doing multiverse. Like, oh, here's a Tony Stark and here's a Chris Evans from a different timeline and whatever.
I mean, that's
you're doing that kind of shit, and it's like, okay, well, after that, nothing matters.
I think the only thing they could do post Secret Wars, I think, would be it would be something like What If, where it's we're just gonna tell weird little bullshit stories.
It's that, or they like kind of do what Secret Wars did, and it kind of rebooted the universe.
Don't make another universe.
That's the only thing.
MCU. I don't want an MCU 2. I like any MCU and then just make stuff after
MCU the sequel.
Don't do that. I don't want a DC thing going on where they're like, oh, we're gonna have a new universe. Like in the fucking universe and then just make movies.
Yeah, just do that.
Do that.
I don't know. That Secret Wars feels like something that's 10 years in the future at least, though.
Oh yeah, we're not gonna see that for a long time.
Unless they're just.
You think that's what they're building up to in the multiverse saga?
Maybe. I still think it's Kang or Galactus is the.
Well, I mean, could they make Kang a part of Secret Wars? Could they make him the big baddie of Secret Wars?
Usually it's the Beyonder, and he's kind of like God in Marvel type thing. Which, I mean, like, he could kill Kang easily. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe. Kang's not that powerful, though, usually. But he could be. They could make him that powerful. I don't know. But usually the big bad in Secret Wars is the Beyonder.
Maybe the Beyonder will come down and be like, yo, fuck you, Kang.
What's funny is that, like, I think it was Jonathan Hickman's run of Secret Wars. The Beyonder was, like, only afraid of one person. And you never saw who that person was. But it was
Punisher.
No, it was very implied that it was Stan Lee. It was like somebody like outside of the universe, and it was very implied that it was Stan Lee that he was afraid of. That's fun. And I'm like, that makes sense. Like,
yeah, he's a creator. He can fuck everybody over if he wants.
If they do Secret Wars, don't fucking do the other guy. I forget his name. Do Jonathan Hickman's run of Secret Wars because that one's way better. Don't fucking. What's his name?
Oh, are you talking about Secret Wars?
I don't know.
There's a Secret War, then there's Secret Wars.
I don't know which one's called which, but they're both the same premise, but one's just way better. Just do Jonathan Hickman's. Don't do the other guys. Not saying his is terrible. It's not as good as Jonathan Hickman.
They'll probably do a mix of both.
They should do Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four, and they should do Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars because they're fucking great. I don't know if you've ever read either one of those.
I'm familiar with this man.
You should watch. Not watch. There's a video about a guy who like kind of. Like just goes through the comic with you, and it's really fun.
Is he the one who made Reed Richards like a genocidal maniac?
It's a multiversal version of Reed Richards. Yeah, but yes,
he did that.
Yeah.
Okay, well then do that because
basically there's a Reed Richards that's going around killing all the other Reed Richards. He's like,
do that. That sounds awesome.
That does sound awesome, and he's also the one that like he aged up. Franklin Richards, and Franklin Richards became like the most powerful being in the universe.
Today.
So.
I still have hope that the Fantastic Four trilogy, like we're gonna start it in like the 40s and have it like have this weird like 40s movie or like a 70s movie or something, and then the second movie is like a sequel and they're all like a little bit older and like blah blah blah, and then the third movie is like they're all dead, the original Fantastic Four, and then it's just like Franklin Richards and maybe like Ben Grimm, and they have to like team up and they got to form the Future Foundation and go off and like do their shit. I think that'd be interesting.
You could throw Spider-Man in there. He was part of the Future Foundation.
Spider-Man in there. Fucking A. So, that'd be fucking awesome.
I have no idea. You gotta have to ask John Watts because he's doing Fantastic Four.
What are you doing, John Watts?
So I don't know. Don't know.
Do what I want, or I'm not watching it.
Hey, I just want a good Fantastic Four movie. I don't even care if it's set in the
one good one. We've had 4 of them.
Yeah,
and they're all bad.
I don't care if it's set in the 1800s and the fucking 2100s. I don't give a shit. Just give me a good one.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully he'll make it.
I know a Fantastic Four movie set in the 1800s, like in the Civil War era.
How the fuck would you even do that?
I don't know. Had Human Torch flaming Confederate soldiers. Just,
oh my god.
Hey, Abraham
People
Lincoln.
would have an issue with that though. They'd be like, "Oh, it's too dark."
It's too dark. He just burned that man alive. It's like, what do you think he does?
This is a fucking DC movie.
He's called the Human Torch. What do you think?
You can't have a man set someone else on fire, even though that's his entire power set.
Let's see.
Did they ever explain, just real quick, did they ever explain why Human Torch can fly?
I don't know. I think it's just kind of one of those things. Like, yeah, that makes sense. Like he can do that.
I mean, he can catch on fire. Why can't he fly?
I mean, it's kind of like it's like when you're watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, and you're like, okay, like waterbenders can bend snow. That makes sense. They're made of water. Like it's like one of those things you don't really need.
That's completely different. That's because that's a logical thing.
I feel like it's a logical thing.
Snow. Human, how do you fly with fire?
That's what rockets do.
But they I guess that makes sense. I guess he's keeping himself up. He's like pushing. He's like propelling himself through the air. I guess
he'd have to produce a lot more fire than what it looks like. Yes, but like, yeah, it's the same. It's the same premise. Same thing with like Iron Man. He's shooting kind of fire out of his rocket, out of his things.
It's a bunch of bullshit.
Wade's over there writing Fantastic Four. He's like, wait a minute, this is a bunch of bullshit.
Out of like the 70 years they've been around. Wait a minute, this is bullshit.
There's a bunch of bullshit, and they're like, wait, there's a guy who's made of rock.
There's a rock man and a stretchy boy.
It's like that doesn't fucking matter. This is bullshit, right?
But Reed Richards like is within his power set though. He doesn't like stretch and then also shoot laser beams. Like he just stretches.
I mean, neither does Human Torch.
Is on fire,
he just shoots fire.
Yeah, but it's just weird that they made him fly.
He shoots fire out of his feet and he flies up.
But he does it every time we see him. He's just flying.
Maybe he's actually got two powers.
That seems unfair.
Technically, so does Susan Storm. Technically, she can turn invisible and she can also like produce shields and stuff. That's not the same power set whatsoever.
I guess. I mean, she could make her invisibility into like things.
I guess, yeah. One of the cool things about Jonathan Hickman's run of Fantastic Four is that he kind of implied that the Thing can turn on and off his powers like everybody else. He just can't figure it out. He's got like a mental block or something. Sure. I think that's so interesting. They should totally fucking do that.
I want to see the Big Grim just like, I can't figure it out, and he has like a stroke.
It's not even that. It's just kind of he's like mentally like he's blocking it for some reason. Like he just can't do it.
That could be interesting. I kind of don't want that in a movie.
Well, because like
in a movie, they're going to use that as an excuse to show off the actor as much as possible.
Well, he never made it. He never made it to where he could turn it on and off. It was just kind of talked about, like, and because it had been thrown around, like, why does everybody else control their powers, but Ben Grimm can't? And then Jonathan Hickman was like, well, maybe he's got like a mental block or something. Maybe that's what it is.
That's fun. Get Professor X and he'll remove him.
It'd be so weird though if he could turn it on and off. Like he just turns back into a human and then he turns back into a rock. Like it's just weird to think about.
It'd be very bizarre. His wife wouldn't have fucking left him though.
His blind wife?
His wife's no, I'm telling you, his first wife.
Oh yeah.
Remember that scene in the first movie where they just got done saving a whole bunch of people and then his wife comes out and just is like, fuck you, I'm leaving you.
And she throws the ring on the ground.
She puts the ring on the ground and he's like trying to pick it up with his big rock fingers. Like, what the fuck is this scene?
It's kind of sad though.
It's sad, but I'm a hero.
Technically, he caused that whole shit anyways. Like
he did, but he didn't kill anybody. So
if he wouldn't have been there, that guy would have jumped off that bridge and none of that would have happened.
He went there to kill himself.
Yeah.
So
that guy would have jumped off that bridge and none of those cars would have gotten that wreck.
He's a hero. He can't let people kill him.
That guy in that semi truck is probably fucking dead. I'm just saying. That slammed into him and like flew like 5 feet in the air.
Yeah, he didn't have to do that.
Yeah, he didn't have to
slam his ass into the thing, but he did.
Like that guy's dead. Like he came to a complete stop from like 50 miles an hour. Like,
didn't he take him out of the thing?
He did, but like in reality, he's fucking dead.
Oh yeah,
like,
he would be.
No way he lived.
Giant rock man kills a semi truck driver on the bridge.
And that firefighter hanging off that ladder, no, he's dead too. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, he would have died.
The force of him flinging off that ladder, there's no way he had the grip strength to.
But in the world of the movie, they're all heroes.
Also, when you think about it, you know how heavy firefighter suits are? Like, that's not like light shit. Like, yeah. So, like, nah, he fell off that bridge. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he died.
He's done.
We can't have that in a family movie, though. We can't have characters struggle with their own consequences.
It's a family movie. But I got two more Marvel things. One of them's really interesting. The other one's kind of like we figured this, but
what are they?
So Marvel is planning on doing more animated series but no plans for a theatrical release of an animated movie. So
that's fine.
But I kind of figured they would do more animated stuff after What If, but
yeah,
I don't know if it's
maybe cool TV shows and stuff.
I don't know if it's going to be in the same like vein as What If, like, oh, we're going to do the same like animation style and stuff like that.
I hope the animation's different. I don't just want the same fucking thing.
I don't know.
Again, like, dude, like if we're getting different shows that aren't connected, stop connecting everything.
Yeah, I miss the days where you could just have like a Spider-Man show and it's just a Spider-Man show.
Yeah, I don't understand why Marvel thinks every single fucking thing has to be connected. Stop.
Fucking bring back Earth's Mightiest Heroes show. God damn it. I want another season of that Avengers show. Make another Avengers show that's good. Make it like the Justice League show. Make it fucking awesome.
Ooh, shit. I'd watch that. The Justice League did some really cool shit.
I know they did. And that's probably like the best animated comic book thing ever.
It's so fucking good.
And I want Marvel has some terrible animated stuff.
They really do.
DC has some
outside of their shows. Their animated movies are dog.
Even their shows aren't that good, honestly.
So some of the show, I like the 80s Spider-Man show, and I like the 80s X-Men show.
The 90s.
Yeah, the 90s.
Those two are the only ones, though. What else I got?
Silver Surfer. Fuck you.
That show's not that good.
That show was great.
No, it wasn't that good.
That show was awesome.
The show was weird, and I didn't like it.
Eat shit. That show was weird, and I didn't like it. I had on like the poster.
I didn't like. I like Planet Hulk movie. That was a good movie.
I haven't seen that movie.
You haven't seen that animated movie? That's a pretty good movie.
I've heard it's good, but I haven't seen it.
It's pretty good. Other than that, though, they don't have any good animated. They have like the Young Avengers movie that was bad.
No, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, no, it's not good. They have an Iron Man show. It's bad too. An animated Iron Man show. It's terrible.
Are you talking about the Young Iron Man show?
The '90s one that was like connected to the X-Men.
Yeah, that one. I never watched that one. I watched the one in like the early 2000s. That was on Nickelodeon. That wasn't very good.
I didn't watch that one. Didn't watch that one. But yeah, Marvel, step up your animation game. DC's destroying you in that aspect.
Honestly, I think DC needs to focus on TV and animated stuff because they're killing it in that way. Stop worrying about these fucking movies. Like that's what you're good at. Do that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I want to watch Long Halloween Part 2 just came out, and I want to watch Long Halloween and see if they fucked it up.
It's like just think of like the Dark Knight Returns. Like nothing in Marvel compares. Even
that movie is so fucking good.
Nothing compares.
I still think the comic is a little bit better, but that movie's so fucking good.
It is.
So fucking good, man.
Really good. Some of the Superman movies, animated movies, are really good too.
There's some good ones. They need to make more. There's only like 4 Superman animated movies.
I sat down for like a couple of days on HBO Max and just watched them all because I was like, I'm just gonna watch all Superman stuff I can.
Yeah, there's some good ones in there.
There are some good ones in there. All right, and my last piece of Marvel news is Daredevil related.
Oh shit!
So he's
Ben Affleck's coming back.
No, this is Charlie Cox's Daredevil.
Oh, okay.
Wade's like, well, now I'm not excited.
Well, now I don't care.
But he's rumored to be in the new Echo show.
Yeah,
so.
I've read this.
So, how you feel about that?
I mean, I don't care about this fucking Echo show. I know she's going to show up in Hawkeye. I'm not watching Hawkeye, so I don't really give a shit.
You're not going to watch Hawkeye, even though
I've said this
in it?
before.
Even though Kingpin's in it, though?
No, he probably won't have a big part in it.
I thought that would persuade you.
No. I watched that scene he's in, and that's it.
What if he's in the whole show, though?
Then I'll just watch his parts.
What if he's the big bad?
I'll just watch his parts.
And you're going to be like, what the fuck is going on? I'm just watching.
I don't care. I want to see Vincent D'Onofrio just be like, when I was a boy. And that's it. It doesn't have to make sense. I mean, Daredevil could show up in Echo. It would make sense for him to show up in Echo because she's kind of on his level of hero.
I think Sam Jackson's going to be in that show too.
Probably. He's recruiting people now. I hope though that like with these Netflix characters, like with Daredevil, now that they can use him, I hope they don't just like shove him in everything. Because it sounds like he's going to be in Spider-Man. He's going to be in Echo. He's going to show up in fucking Howard the Duck. He's going to show up in Moon Knight.
Well, I'm like 90% sure he's playing just Matt Murdock in Spider-Man. Like I don't think he's going to be Daredevil. But you are right. They are kind of like, let's just put him in a lot of stuff.
Just put him in. People like him, so put him in stuff. Like use him sparingly. I don't want Daredevil like overload.
I'm sure Charlie Cox is loving it though. He's like, yes, give me more work.
I'm sure he's like, put me as much as possible.
Give me more work.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that.
I don't know. I still don't know where they're gonna put like Luke. I still haven't heard much about Luke Cage and Iron Fist. Everybody else heard about.
Yeah, there's rumors that Shang-Chi is gonna like introduce Iron Fist in some kind of way. It's possible.
That could be an after credit scene.
It's possible. I highly doubt it'll be Finn Jones though.
Oh, I'm 99% sure it won't be Finn Jones.
But I don't know.
If anything, just do a Heroes for Hire show. You don't need to put them in other stuff.
Perfect.
Just make a Heroes for Hire Disney Plus show.
That'd be perfect. A buddy cop Heroes for Hire
awesome.
Series with Luke Cage and Iron Fist. That sounds awesome.
Because when they're together in the Netflix show, they're awesome together.
Yeah.
Separately, they're kind of meh, but
because they don't belong. They don't need they're not interesting enough to carry their own television shows.
Right. If you do recast, just make sure them two have chemistry. That's all you need.
Yeah, that's all you need. That's all I got to worry about.
If they don't have chemistry, it ain't gonna work. But if they have chemistry, you can make a good show around that. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, you could. I'd be down for that.
I don't know what you would do in the Disney Plus show, but you can do anything because you're just kind of doing
Heroes for Hire.
Yeah, you can just do anything really.
Just have them go on adventures.
Yeah.
Every episode be 40-50 minutes. Start of every episode, somebody hires them to go do some shit.
And it always turns out to be more than they expected.
And it's that's the trailer. They get more for what they bargained for.
Luke Cage is like, why is it always more?
It's always something.
It's always aliens.
It's always goddamn aliens. Like that's fun. I want to watch that.
Me and you could just write it. There we go.
We could be in it.
We couldn't be in it.
We're Luke Cage and Iron Fist.
People would laugh at us.
I don't give a shit. I'm in a fucking Marvel show. Eat shit.
They'd be like, that guy's definitely not Luke Cage. That guy doesn't know anything about Kung Fu. He does not Iron Fist.
I'll play Luke Cage before he becomes Luke Cage.
And I'm basically just Finn Jones again.
And you're just Finn Jones. You're just an asshole with a sock over his face.
People be like, he's worse than Finn Jones. I didn't think it was possible, but he's worse than Finn Jones.
Fuck, now I want Finn Jones to come back.
I'm just doing it for Finn Jones.
I did it for Finn Jones.
I'm tweeting at Finn Jones every day, like, look what I did. Look what I did for you.
I sacrificed my career for you, you motherfucker.
I sacrificed my non-existent career for you. Okay.
That'd be hilarious.
Be the worst Disney Plus show they ever made, but
I don't know. I feel like we could at least make it through a season.
Well, yeah, we'd make it through a season because they filmed the whole season and then put it out.
Yeah, that's all that matters. We got one season of a Marvel show. That's more people. That's more than.
That'd be the first thing Kevin Feige comes out and be like, "That's not canon." Like,
that's not canon. I don't know who the fuck greenlit this. Wasn't me.
Somebody under me greenlit this. It wasn't me, and that's not canon.
Bob Kupchak fucking greenlit this. Not canon.
It's like Incredible Hulk's fucking canon, but that's not canon.
This is bullshit.
Some bullshit. And then you ready to get some DC news?
DC news.
We both only have one thing, and it might be the same thing. I don't know. What you got?
There's a Black Canary solo movie coming on HBO Max.
That was mine. That was what I had.
Okay, that's like the only news that came out.
What's up with DC? Why haven't they got nothing? Are they keeping everything so secretive, or are they just not doing anything?
I don't think they know what they're doing.
I mean, we've been saying that for like years now.
Yeah. Like movie wise, they've kind of shot all their upcoming movies. Like Shazam 2's already shot, Black Adam shot, Aquaman 2 shot.
They're still shooting The Flash, so
Flash is still shooting, but I'm sure they're gonna be done in the next couple months. So it's like they're kind of just like sitting on all this stuff.
True. Where's the trailers at, goddammit?
I'm sure we'll get a trailer at some point. So I think Black Adam's next.
Is it? I don't know
so.
I don't know their release schedule. I don't know what's coming out with. I don't think there's any more DC stuff coming out this year.
No, I think they're done for this year. Next year's going to be the big thing. I think because I think Flash, Black Adam, and the Batman come out next year.
Which is weird. They only released 2 things this year, right?
Movie wise, I think so. Yeah.
And one of them was something they had already made.
Yeah.
So they really only released one movie.
Well, I mean, they did that last year. Last year, they only put out like one movie.
What did they put out last year?
Wonder Woman 84.
Didn't Birds of Prey come out last year? Or was that You probably.
Oh, fuck, did it?
I don't remember.
I completely forgot about Birds of Prey. Yeah, they did put out Birds of Prey last year. They put out Aquaman in like 2019, and that was the only thing they fucking put out.
They're just doing these one movies things.
Yeah, they're just kind of doing whatever.
We're trying to build a universe one movie at a time.
I mean, Marvel did that when they started.
That's true. They did.
That's fine. You can do it that way.
I ain't saying anything about the one movie. I'm just saying about the movies they suck. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, most of them do. And I'm not really interested in this Black Canary fucking HBO Max show. I don't know why they're making all these movies for HBO Max like exclusively, because the Batgirl movie is going to be for HBO Max.
I don't know.
Or maybe they're just moving everything to HBO Max.
I don't know. I mean, HBO Max puts out some decent stuff, quality stuff, but I don't think Black Canary is going to be any good.
No, especially since it's connected to Birds of Prey.
Yeah, definitely not.
Like, I don't fucking want anything to do with Birds of Prey ever.
Nope. If we just completely ignore that movie, maybe it'll go away. We'll never hear from it ever again.
We can't, because some people actually like that movie.
Who?
Dumb people.
I need a poll for everyone who likes Birds of Prey, and
a lot of people liked that movie when it came out.
We need to put them in a rock, under a rock.
I mean, we could put them in a rock too if we want.
Just shove them in a rock.
Just hollow out a rock and put them in it.
Oh my god! Have you seen that freaking weird comic that has that?
What?
Have you ever seen that comic? Some person on the internet made it. It's really freaking weird. Basically, there's like a giant cliffside. It's got perfectly cut out shapes of humans in it, and like people are like, "What the fuck is this?"
Like, Mount Rushmore?
No, like it's a hole. It's a hole in the rock, and it's perfectly cut out. Like a person could fit in it perfectly. Oh. And like some people find it, and like the news are like, "What is this? Like, why is there so many of them? Like, there's like hundreds of them." And people start theorizing, like, "Oh, like maybe they're like specifically made for certain people." So people start trying to get in them and stuff like that. And like when people do fit, like they fit perfectly. Like, there's no gap in between anywhere in there. And they just start like slithering down in this rock thing, and it's really fucking weird.
Is that the story?
Yeah, that's the story.
What happens? Like,
it turns out that like they're like people do it and then they go missing and they're never seen again.
Oh, I wonder why? Because they slithered down a fucking rock.
And then like years later, somebody finds the other side of the rock, and they see that it's just like cracks. They're not even human shaped anymore. They're like all like wiggly and stuff. And they look down it, and there's a person like all stretched and morphed and grossed out looking in it. It's really disgusting.
It sounds bad.
It was really weird when I read it. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
It sounds like someone had a weird nightmare, and they were just like, "Here's a thing."
It probably is. It probably was somebody's nightmare, and they're like, "Yeah, we're doing this."
Don't put your nightmares into things.
This is not a show or movie. It's an online comic. But,
it doesn't matter. It's gonna stay online.
Yeah, you had to get like butt naked to fit in the rock or something.
Ew.
Because if you wore clothes, you wouldn't fit. But if you got naked,
see, but see, that's the thing though. If I saw that and I tried to get in it, and they're like, "Oh, you got to get naked," I'd be like, "Nope,
nope, it's cold in there. I ain't going in there." People, yeah, it was like people were like obsessed with it. Like, what do the holes mean? What do they mean?
I think that would be a thing in real life, but I feel like maybe for like 20 minutes. And people are like, "What are these things? Whoa, whoa, whoa." And we try to figure it out. And we're like, fuck it. Whatever.
It's the same thing with the monolith that appeared in the middle of nowhere. People didn't give a shit after like a day.
Yeah, because they were just like, "Oh, it's probably this thing." Okay, cool.
People are like, "Oh, it's like 2001." And then people are like, "Who cares?"
I don't give a shit. What's 2001?
It could be aliens. Who cares?
No, that's an old movie. Ew.
I do kind of have a fun fact. If you want to hear a fun fact,
what is the fun fact?
We're going back to space. Humans are going back to space. Like, it's happening. I mean, like, we've been in space. We've been going to the International Space Station. But that doesn't.
Bezos fucking went to space for about.
That doesn't count. I'm talking about real space.
He didn't go to space?
I mean, he did. But I'm talking about like far out in space. We're going back to the moon.
Space.
Back to the moon, bitches.
We're going back to the moon?
Not we are, but China. China is 2025.
Man.
They're going back to the moon. We'll actually get to see a moon landing, maybe, unless they kill themselves, and we won't see that. But
That'd be awesome.
And then in the 2030s, NASA plans to go to Mars, so we might see a Mars landing too within 5 years.
Yeah, isn't the Mars thing? Don't they have like volunteers already like lined up for that?
Oh yeah, they're going.
Fucking, I can't imagine just knowing that in like 10 years from now, like, hey, you're going to Mars,
and you're not coming back.
You're not coming back. You better fucking live up these next 10 years.
Well, one of them is a husband and wife going. I'm like, that's kind of messed up. But
why is that messed up?
I don't know. It's like, let's just go die on Mars.
They're gonna repopulate. They're gonna repopulate on Mars.
No. They ain't sending like supplies to live there for 10 plus years. You get supplies for like a couple months.
Devin, they're sending a whole crew of people. Eat the people.
Doesn't matter. You will run out eventually.
Ration.
What about water? There's no water on Mars.
Find water.
Where?
Find water on Mars.
On ice.
Break the fucking ice.
Let's think about this rationally. If they land in the middle of the planet, they have to go to the poles to get ice. That's not like easy to do. You can't just walk. Imagine walking from here to the North Pole.
It can be done.
It can be.
So then fucking do it. Why would you sign up to go kill yourself? That's essentially what they're doing.
That is what they're doing. They know that's what they're doing.
Why would you do that?
Because history.
No one's gonna remember these fucks.
The first person.
The first person to land on Mars. It'll be the moon landing situation. Nobody knows who the fuck Buzz Aldrin or that other guy was. They know fucking Neil Armstrong.
Yeah. So they're racing to be who's going to be the first.
So just get one person.
You need a crew though. Not one person can't make it to Mars by themselves.
Why not?
Because you need a crew to run the ship.
We can do it remotely. We got fucking robots and shit. How about you can have a crew, but have them drop them off and then fly back.
Yeah, there you go. You're done.
There you go. Get the fuck out of here.
If they're flying back, they might as well wait and try to get them back on the ship. Like,
no, he signed up for a suicide mission. He needs to die.
They thought the same thing with Neil Armstrong, though. There was
Neil Armstrong, though. If you watch the movie First Man, he kind of didn't really give a shit if he died or not. That's kind of why he went.
But they had a speech ready in case that they couldn't get off the moon.
Oh, I'm sure.
If you listen to that speech, there's a guy who read it online. He read the speech that I don't remember who the president was at the time, but he was going to read it.
That was JFK, wasn't it?
Wasn't he assassinated back?
We are going to go to the moon.
I think he was assassinated before we went to the moon, though, wasn't he?
I don't remember. It was somebody.
Anyways, it's really like morbid to think about. Like when you're listening to the guy read it and thinking about people stuck on the moon, like just chilling there.
It's terrifying. Yeah, knowing they're up there, but we can't fucking do anything to get them back.
Yeah, dude, it's very morbid to think about.
Yeah,
and it'll happen with the Mars one because they don't plan on trying to get them back. At least on the moon landing one, they're like, all right, we're gonna try to bring them back. Like we don't know if it's gonna work, but we're gonna try.
Very odd that they're just like, fuck it, it's not gonna work. Maybe don't do it until we have a way to bring them back. Like,
I mean, it's not as easy as Mars though. I mean, not the moon in terms of doing that.
Remember JFK's fucking speech? We're gonna go to the moon not because it's easy, but because it's hard.
I'm just saying it's not
like don't just go. So hey, we can go there. Let's go.
I'm not saying it's not impossible. It's definitely possible. You can do it.
Like just wait an extra like 10 years until technology is like up to snuff to where you can like bring them back.
I can't imagine going to a different body in space. I can't imagine what Neil Armstrong thinks about when he's like, I went to the moon and came back. That's fucking. I can't even think of that.
Yeah, that's weird. I left the planet.
Like when he looks up at the moon, he's like, I've been there.
I
was standing on that thing right there.
Fucking A. I was the only human being to like leave Earth and land on a thing